What's going on, everybody? What's going on? It's your guy, J Day. Hope all is well. Love and light, everyone. I need to get my bottle of water. But I had it somewhere. Give me a minute, guys. All right, there we go. So, yeah, guys, I wanted to give you guys an update. It's been a while. So, I figured I'd come on and give you guys an update, with the crib and all of that. And let's talk about DR. What's going on in DR? I was trying to upload I was trying to upload the an updated video so that you guys could see, but for some reason I wasn't able to. But we gonna see. I'm gonna try right now. Let me see. Let me see here. Nope. I don't know. I don't know why I'm not able to. Evolving with Michael Fields 4856. What's going on, my brother? What's going on? What's going on, guys? For those of you guys just tuning in, be sure to hit the like, tap that like. It don't cost you nothing to tap the like, guys. It don't cost you nothing. I appreciate all the love and support. I just wanted to give you guys some updates, man. It's been a while since I made a live. I just been grinding, trying to finish up with the crib. This year, this is it, guys. This is it. It's been a long time coming. So pretty much where I'm at, they done finished up the second level in terms of the plastering. I did the plastering. I did the stairs going up to the rooftop, spiral stairs. I got the video, guys. I got the video. I was trying to upload it onto StreamYard, but for some reason it just won't allow me to upload the video. So I'll probably just do a little short because the videos ain't that long. But yeah, I done did all of that. Did all the plastering. The electrical is done. All the wiring is done. Plumbing is done up on the top level. So all I got to do now is I did the bars as well. So the face of the house is good. So all I got to do now is the ceramics, and I'm gonna be doing that within like the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna be heading down in July, guys. I'm gonna be heading down in July. So when I get down there, the ceramics will be done. So I'm gonna, show all the footage of all of that. And as I said, once the ceramics are done, my builder's going to do the pool over. He's going to ceramic the whole pool area. So like I said, I'm pushing towards ideally like move in by like December, everything be ready. Yeah. And then what I planned on doing is extending my property line as well. And I wanted to, mention to you guys about that. As y'all know DR is getting expensive, man. It's already expensive. And doing my research in terms of like how much countryside property is going for now, because that is really what's desirable is countryside property. um the is low, let's see, per square meter is ranging anywhere between 55 to $85 per square meter for countryside. Okay. And prices, that's chat using chat GPT. But me being boots on the ground, I'm telling you, in countryside parts of Puerto Plata, 125. Those who know, who are boots on the ground, know. They can contest to what I'm saying. So with that being said, the property where I have my house, I'm gonna be extending the property line now. It's an owner there that owns a lot of land. He owns a lot of land up there by me, and then he owns land, like on like near the road. So I'm gonna be negotiating with him because the government wants to buy all the property and he doesn't want to sell it to them because they're trying to lowball him. And I already told him, I said, listen, you have a better chance letting me, and a few of my associates who's already there try to sell it versus, you know, he said, well, he has negotiations with them, but there's nothing set in stone right now. So he wants to meet with me and my lawyer this coming July when I get down there. So what I'm trying to do, guys, I'm already telling you guys right now, starting prices is $35 per square meter. You're not getting you're not getting that nowhere in Puerto Plata. $35 per square meter is what the starting price is for the property now. He's got a lot of land and he's selling them by Tadeusz. So each Tadea is 628 square meters, right? 628 square meters is one Tadea. So in square feet, we go by square feet. So in square feet is roughly 6,700 square feet of land. You know what I mean? Now, a lot of it he's got that's off the main road. Now, guys, look, listen, if you don't got the money to build a house, start thinking outside of the box. Think about, using that land as a commercial space. you know um Puerto Plata is growing. The North Coast now is one of the top, cruise hubs in the Caribbean. We got 67 cruise ships in March alone, across Amber Cove, and Taino Bay. Now, between Amber Cove and Taino Bay, you got a lot of investments going on. They're building, I believe, a Holiday Inn near the Compressee. You've got, all these cruise ships. So, what does that mean for you? Well, with thousands of visitors, arriving weekly, that equals boost for excursions, boost for restaurants and local businesses for expats that's looking to move down there and start up a business. You see what I'm saying? So you guys got to keep that in mind. But now is the time to really invest because prices is continuing to go up. You see what I'm saying? So what I plan to do, as I said, even with selling real estate, as you guys know, you don't need a license to sell real estate in Dominican Republic. Well, now all of that's about to be regulated soon. So there's a lot of Americans, foreigners, that are operating businesses in Dominican Republic, that don't have residency, and they already put, trying to pass this bill for that to regulate, the real estate, which is a good thing. It is a good thing. But it's a bad thing for those who already have businesses in DR who are selling real estate. It's going to be a bad thing for them only because now, you know they're going to be required to have residency, one, and be required to have an office space, that's two. So they're cracking down only because there's a lot of scamming going on in the real estate industry in Dominican Republic. So the government is trying to crack down on all of that. So, and you're gonna need required to go to school and all of that. So things are really starting to change in DR. So it's time for us to move with the change. Now for me, if you're looking to move out there, especially somebody like myself who's still, young, and I'm not living off any liquidated assets or social security and pensions and all of that. I'm still young, so if you somebody that's is faced with a situation like me, because there's a lot of us that have properties down there and is trying to find a way to, to be able to live down there full time. You see what I'm saying? Without having to, go back and forth, or, visit 2 and 3 times out of the year. Like, who wants to do that when you done invested all of this money? You know what I mean? So, me myself, I'm working on a plan. I already had mentioned to you guys, like, I'm kind of like done, with the real estate, selling properties, and I'm only going to do this with this guy, and that's it. After I'm done, trying to sell all the property that he has, only because it's benefiting me with bringing value up to where I'm at, with my house and everything like that. But anything outside of that, guys, I'm done. Listing properties on the channel and stuff. I'm done. It's just I've had my share, and when it's time to tap out. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. And I always had a plan B. and the plan B is coming. I'm going to share that with you guys later on. So there's a lot of good things coming on. Going for me. In DR. So yeah, but yeah, it's really time for you guys to really think about making whatever investments you are trying to make. And the good thing with this property that I'm gonna be selling with this owner, I'm gonna try to make it to whereas it's you guys can finance it, you know, put a certain amount down and then work it out to where you can pay the rest off in a couple of months, 6 months to a year. You see what I'm saying? So, I have a lot of, a lot more information later on, once I get down there, meet with him, his lawyer, my lawyer, and go on, go through all the details and all of that. So, stay tuned for all of that. But yeah, once I get down there, guys, I'm gonna show the property. I'm excited. It's been a long journey for me, man. And yeah, this is where I'm at. I'm at the tail end, guys. I'm at the tail end. I should have a drink for that, man. Yeah, you have no idea, you know. But the idea is trying to buy something so that you have, later on. And even if you don't have, I say to y'all time and time again, even if you don't have, the money to build, you start somewhere. Make your land work for you. You see what I'm saying? Make it work for you. Whether you um, do agriculture, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. And even the community that even see the I said in the beginning to you guys, and y'all, I'm sure for the ones who have been following me from day one, that y'all can attest to it. I always said, everybody has their own idea how they want to live. Like if I wanted to have moved and built in a Casa Linda, I could have done that. Yeah, it would have taken me a little bit more time because the land and stuff. Casa Linda is a little bit more money. But at the same with with living in Costa Linda, it's restrictions. You can't have cows. If you want to do cows, you can't. You can't. It's a lot of things that you can't do. So my thing is, why buy land and then also having to pay a fee, HOA fees and all of that? Why buy land and have to worry about having to pay monthly on it when the land is yours? It doesn't make sense. You want to be able to use that land for whatever it is for your use. You see what I'm saying? If you want to use it to be sustainable for you and your family, so these are the kind of things like push me away from building in like one of those kind of communities. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But once you got your land, listen, land, you can never go wrong. You can never go wrong with it. It's always going to appreciate over time. It's always going to appreciate over time. So, even for an example, the land that I bought a year ago, I bought that land a year ago. One of my viewers on the channel, he bought right next door to me, and he called me and told me that an American bought land and they're building property on that, on that in the same area, right on the same block. So that has already bought value. You see what I'm saying? And if I wanted to sell it, I'm gonna be able to recoup about, I probably could sell it for half of, almost double for what I paid for it. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said you can't go wrong. And in Dominican Republic, land appreciates quicker than you know. That's why you always got to kind of scoop out the area to see what's going on. In my area, yeah, it's hidden, it's up, it's nestled, but I got plans for there. See, the good thing about my area is what I do have around. I got the cruise ships around there. You see what I'm saying? I've got the Confresi. I've got a few beaches. I got rivers. You know what I mean? So the cruise ships is really what is going to attract people. You see what I'm saying? So my plan is to open up a business right in my area because that is in my community, and be able to generate an income from the tourists coming in. You see what I'm saying? So when you opening up a business in DR, you want to center your business around, tourism. As I said, excursions. What kind of excursions can you do? Well, you could buy a couple of 4x4s, rent your 4x4s out. Do tours, open up event spaces. Anything that a tourist might be interested in doing as an excursion. You see what I'm saying? Salsa dance, salsa lessons, cigar rolling up cigar lessons. These are things that tourists like to do, when they visit different countries. So anything that centers that, you really can't go wrong. Especially, if you are in an area where, you got tourist traffic coming in. You see what I'm saying? And the good thing about it is, if you got tourist traffic coming in, and the area where you're located is off the main road, man, you can't go wrong. That's why I said, like, you got to start thinking outside of the box. If you cannot afford to build a house, well, try doing a commercial. Build a commercial space. It's cheaper because all you're doing is building the shell of it, and everything else is, what I'm saying, renting it out. You could, there's just so many things that you can do, because I think that's like one of our biggest problems as Americans, those who are trying to make that transition. Is like, it's so many of us like, yo, how can I had one girl on my TikTok, she said, how can I wish that I could leave the States and move down to Dominican Republic. I'm like, well, why can't you? You know what I mean? Why can't you? It's really not as hard as people make it seem. I mean, you do have to have a plan. You see what I'm saying? You do gotta have to plan. Like, I look at it like this. It took me, 4 years, because I'm closing out this year with the crib. It took me 4 years to build this house, right? So for a person that's looking to make that transition, even if they can't afford, to build, to go out there and build a house. Let's just say you want to make the transition and move out there and rent. Okay, you do a 4 year plan. And the thing about it is, I think the biggest problem with us Americans and foreigners, we go down there with the westernized mentality. Okay, you see an apartment. Let's just say you got a budget of $2,000, $3,000. Okay, well, I can afford. That means I can afford to live in an apartment that's $1,200 a month. Why spend that kind of money when you can find an affordable apartment, something more affordable? Yeah, it might be in the barrio, it might be in the Dominican neighborhood, and there's pros and cons. You know what I'm saying, to it, and that's why it's important for us to do that kind of a research. Yeah, it's me personally, guys. I don't mind living in the Dominican barrios, neighborhood, and shit like that. I don't have a problem with it. Some of us do. And when you know that, okay, there's pros and the cons. Well, I'll tell you definitely some of the cons. Some of the cons is going to be, you're going to have electricity going out. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you bring an inverter. You bring what you need, so that if in case you have a backup for it. You see what I'm saying? If you want to live, in a Dominican neighborhood. But you got a 4 year plan. So part you incorporate all of what you need, the essentials, as living as an American, knowing, okay, you know what? But you already know. The idea is to go down there and save money, not spend, not spend. Because now once you go down there, you got a nice little budget. I know a lot of Americans that live down there, man, and saving money, man. Saving. So don't go down there with the mindset of spending, because having that kind of a budget on, rent, because you can. Nah, you want to go down there and save over time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you open up a commercial space, build yourself a commercial space. It's cheaper. And going back to what I said, as far as like opening up a business, if you downsize, the biggest problem I think with us, we consume so much as Westerners. We consume so much. Start going, because I did all of that. In order for me to get as far as I have gotten, guys, I literally had to go over my monthly budget, and try to cut back on everything that I could possibly cut back on so that I could, make this shit happen. Some people, oh, you broke. Y'all have no idea some of the backlash out here. And if you worry about people are gonna talk shit, but the proof is in the pudding. Yeah, I have done all of what I have done, but the proof is in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? And it can be done. So once you start cutting back, now you can start saving money. Putting money to a side. You do that over 4 years of over a 4 year span. You'd be surprised how much you can save. Now, if knowing that what I know, because on my TikTok, I'm building that platform up. On there, I'm posting a lot of apartment rentals. I'm getting a lot of hits on that. So it's a market for that, especially the apartment rentals that I'm putting out there. These are rentals that ain't nobody going to the barrios and posting $300 and $400 apartments, even less than that. Some of the listings I have is 200. I got it. Y'all see my $200 apartment. You see what I'm saying? And you knowing that you can rent an apartment for that amount monthly. Okay, you save up 4 years of rent so that when you go down there, you good for 4 years of just rent alone. You see what I'm saying? So you good on that. Now to start up a business, guys, depending on the kind of business, you looking at anywhere between 5 to 10,000 startup. Startup you know so you got to research the market when it comes to that, but there are brothers and sisters that are doing it and doing very well doing it. You see what I'm saying? So if you just it's all about planning. It's all about planning. You got people that move down there on their savings and just live off that. Once that dries up, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Let me read some of this comment. We all the emotion. Just speak the facts. People are different. Everyone needs to learn, but they don't want scams, and that's what they do over there. If you can't be honest, then forget it. Your decision is good. No one is against that, but never sugarcoat anything as mentioned in the past. You were scammed, cheated out of some serious money, but the dishonesty is not a good sign. Um, in I was scammed and cheated out of money. What does that have to do with anything? What is that? I think I've been very transparent with my viewers about all of what I have been through, and being scammed. Listen, no matter what you do or how you move in Dominican Republic, being a foreigner, Westerner, gringo, whatever you want to call it, you're gonna get got no matter what. No matter what. Whether you going just to buy something simple in a restaurant. We all have gotten scammed. You see what I'm saying? So my what I have been through and what I have encountered, it has been a learning lesson for me, and I have managed to pretty much overcome all of any shortcomings that have been, that have come my way. So for you to sit here and mention what I've been through, in which I have already explained that and been transparent of all of what I have been through, like I don't understand, like where's all that coming from? I don't, especially when I'm talking about something completely different. So, but anyway, um you know the idea, guys, is just to really start working on you know uh, setting up a plan for yourself so that you can make this transition, searching out the market, looking at where are the upcoming cities. That's where you need to be investing. Upcoming cities, where hotels are being built, where tourism is being boosted. This is where you need to be investing. You see what I'm saying? Just tell it like it is. You see what this dude said? Just tell it like it is. Outsiders have to be aware. No one is worried about how you feel or your indifference. Just tell it like it is. Maybe I didn't hear it earlier. Okay, my mistake. Yeah, I mean, yeah, bro. Like, my thing is this, bro. You got a lot of people that come on my platform and talk about things that they don't know. You know what I'm saying? And if I could be one of those YouTubers that could fake and nah, I listen, because it's a learning lesson. What I've been through is a learning lesson for anybody that's coming in after me. And I've always said this: anybody coming after me, anybody that's looking to come through me for getting a house built or whatever, you don't got to go through all the losses and the shit that I have to been through. I done took losses for anybody. Now that's up to you. Am I pressed about it? No, because initially when I you can go to the one of the first videos that I posted about DR, was actually looking for help, was really looking for somebody to help me build. You see what I'm saying? And that's and then it selling properties and listen, all that other shit fell into my lap. You see what I'm saying? But now that I'm at to the point where I'm good, I'm really good, guys. I'm good. And to be quite honest with you, some of the losses that I thought I did take, I really didn't. I really didn't, because at the end of the day, when and you can Google it right now. Right now, you can go on Chat GPT and ask Chat GPT, how much is a countryside home worth in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic? A 5 bedroom, how much is it worth right now? A 5 bedroom office, indoor pool, 6,000 square feet. Okay, right now, you ask Chat GPT, how much is one of those houses worth in the countryside? Market value. You ask them how much, and you know what it's going to tell you? Between 500 to 700,000 USD. Okay, so what I kicked out was way under that. I'm under 200,000. So I think I did very well. Maybe I could have spent a little less, but my house is paid for. I don't got no loans. I didn't take out any loans. I did this shit on my own. Cash money. You see what I'm saying? So for those who may have thought I've gotten scammed and all of that, at the end of the day, guys, I'm still winning. I'm still winning. I'm still winning. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. But enough about me being scammed and all of that. My house will be done by the end of this year. All is I plan on extending the property. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. That's all I'm gonna say. The proof is in the pudding. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put out a little short just so y'all can see what's going on. All right, that's what I'm gonna do for y'all. Put out a little short. Ain't nothing like a good old fashioned lesson learned. Facts, Future Well Films. Each one teach one. You see what I'm saying? And for those of you guys that's going in after me, looking and boots on the grounds, I say good luck to you. I say good luck to you. Yeah, I'm keeping it real. It had to take me to go through about one, two, three maestros to get that diamond in the rut. But that diamond in the rut did all listen, he compensated everything that wasn't done. So listen, I'm guys, I'm good. I'm really good. I'm not after like I said, after this is all said and done, um selling this property that I'm gonna do with this owner, that's it. I'm not selling no more properties. I'm focusing on other things, man. And that's another thing. If you going out there to start a business, you better have a plan A and plan B. Plan A don't work out, at least you got something else to fall back on. You see what I'm saying? You gotta be, just like the Dominicans. You exit a local, what you do, for a living. I wash the car over there, Poppy. I work in the restaurant. I do this. Especially if you ain't got a pension or assets to liquidate living out there, you better have a backup. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just not worth my time. And this is the difference. And I'm gonna tell you why it's not worth my time. Going out there, finding properties and all of that stuff, for the ones that did buy through me, I'm glad that they bought and all of that, but it just wasn't moving as fast as I would have liked it. The difference between being a real estate agent here and the Dominican Republic, y'all got to give the DR agents a little bit more of a, y'all got to understand how it really works there. Here, working here as a real estate agent, you can tax write off everything, your gas, all those expenses. You can write that shit off. You don't. You There's nothing to write off out there. Gas is expensive. Going here, going there. Gas is, so you gotta understand. This is why a lot of them, don't be, don't have the gas to show properties and stuff like that because you got to understand that. So it's just for me, it's just not worth my time anymore. It's not, and that's okay. You got to know when to fold, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. If I see anything that's locally, and one of my because I already told all my associates in DR, I'm done. I'm done. But if I see something locally, if somebody reaches out to me and I could put you in, direction, put you in the hands of, an associate, no problem. But as far as me personally doing it, I'm done, guys. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. As I said, I came on here, I started this channel looking for help, and then I seen that it was a need for other people that was looking for help. You know what I'm saying? So I said, okay, let me, try to find some local. I was boots on the ground, you know, vetting people. You know what I'm saying? People are not who they say they are. That's why I said you guys got to be very careful because the difference between me and somebody else, you might not have been able to recover, you know, from some of the mistakes that were made, Not everybody can afford to recover and take losses. You see what I'm saying? Craig Cook, what's going on, bro? See you in July. We got business. We got business. But not everybody can afford to take losses. So if you one of those people that are like, oh, I'm gonna find my own crew. I'm gonna find my own builder. I'm going to find my own plumber. I'm gonna find my own electrician. Just make sure, guys, you vet, you do your research, you get your referrals. And the best, if you're gonna get referrals and stuff, go in these expat groups, man, and speak to some of the expat groups and get connected because doing this shit on your own is not advisable. It's not. It's not. Trust me, because there's this one guy. Y'all can go and check in the community section. There was this one brother that reached out to me. This is like maybe 2 years ago or something. And he had built a house in Santo Domingo. I posted it in the community section. I posted in the community section. This dude trusted his friend. Now, this is somebody he knew from the States, you know, built him this house, man. He told me he spent, I think, 60,000 to build this damn house. You should see what he built him. You should see, and the thing is, it's just it could be frightening, it could be all the above, when it comes to trying to do this shit yourself. Oh yeah, if you're gonna do it from the bottom and you're looking to hire a contracting company, they are going to pay you they're going to charge you per square meter. Just know that. You know what I'm saying? But you got to weigh it out. Like, damn, do I go with a contractor just to have a peace of mind and not have to worry about any fuck ups, with my project, or do I try to find somebody locally that really is skilled at what they do, that's going to do the right thing by me. You know what I'm saying? Because what's really happening now is, like I said, uh, everybody's charging by the square meter. That's just what it is. And I think the lowest, if you can go on Chat GPT and do your research. Don't take it for what I'm telling you. Um, you got to tap in. You got to tap in with a stand up local. Facts, Crazy World 2570. You got to tap in with a local, man. Um, you know, I just wish that the only thing I wish that I would have use the builder that I'm using now when he offered his help before. Because it's not like he didn't offer his help. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't take it only for a reason. And I there's a lot of things that I would like to say on the channel, about the whole situation. And for those of you guys that have been following me, then, y'all know what time it is, but I'm only gonna say this, and I'm speaking in codes for those who know. you know, when you are living in another country and you vet people, people know you, they know your family, they know where you live, and then things go left, things happen, friendship ends, whatever. You gotta know how to you gotta learn how to walk away from a situation and be wise. You see what I'm saying? You gotta be wise, don't bring attention to a situation. You know what I'm saying? When you living in somebody else's country, you see what I'm saying? So this is the reasons why you don't use. It's just certain things you don't say, and it always go back to what I said in the beginning. Once you do build your house and you make a life for yourself out there, you be very careful on who you invite into your home. It's not like here in the States. You see what I'm saying? You be very, very careful who you invite into your home, to your circle. You see what I'm saying? You keep your circle very, very small. Outside of, like, the expat community, because most of the expats out there, we all pretty much on the same kind of, mental. So, but anything outside of that, you need to be wise in that sense. Exactly, they will line you up. You see what I'm saying? Crazy world. You if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be street smart, when it comes to shit like that. So this is why, I take the high road. I'm a big believer of whatever you do, whether it's good or bad in life, man, it comes back to you. We all got to answer to the shit that we do in life. We all got to answer to it. I got a conscience, man. I got a conscience. I've never fucked anybody over on my channel. Anybody, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've had disagreements with people on my channel that I have met, and I realized, you got to separate business with pleasure. It's not everybody you meet that you do business with. You do pleasurable things with. You know what I'm saying? So you learn from that shit. Um but I've never fucked anybody over. You never heard anybody make any YouTube video or anything about me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got your haters and stuff. That comes with the territory, man. And you want to be a content creator, you got to be able to take the good with the bad. you know People make assumptions that they don't know. you know I tell people anything you want to know about J-Day, ask me. I can tell you better than anybody else. But that's pretty much that situation, man. I just want to go down there, live a peaceful life, thrive like a lot of the expats are thriving. you know and this is one of the reasons why I just been low key, working and getting this shit done, because once it's done, it's done. And the good, another thing you guys asked, well, when do I plan on moving down there? This is my thing, guys, and this should be your mentality too. Once the house is done, it's like, what's the rush of moving down there? All the money that I have spent, all the hard work that I'm doing, I want to continue to do it while I still got it in me. I'm only 46. I'll be 50 in 4 years. So I figure, you know what? 50 will be the time to make the full transition. Right now, I'm going to continue to work hard and make more investments, you know what I mean, in Dominican Republic. I got options. And it's a good thing to have options. Um, the other property that I paid for up in Sabanacaroso, I was thinking about selling it. But with this landowner, I already told him, listen, and I'm transparent. I told him, and if you're doing real estate, that should be your mentality. I told him that owner straight up. I said, listen, any property that I sell, I don't want no commission. I just want land. Just give me land. Just give me land. You got a shitload of it, bro. Let's make a deal. Give me the land. I'm not asking for no commission. I want to extend my property line. There's things that I'm trying to do on there. I just want to extend it. You see what I'm saying? Because once you get got a good enough of property, sky's the limit, man. That's the difference between, and because a lot of you guys ask like, yo, um, what should I do? Build, or buy? These are the main three questions I get asked. What should I, is it better to buy or build, or is it better to buy an apartment versus buy a crib? And I'm gonna tell you, buying an apartment, you're limited. You're limited because you don't have the kind of space that you really want outdoors. You know what I mean? To be able to grow fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, entertain, whatever, outdoor space, living, you know what I mean? So that's the difference. Now, the price of apartment, that's one with the apartment. Two, the price of apartments going in Dominican Republic is pretty much the price you would pay to build a damn house. You see what I'm saying? Now and I only say that if you know the right people. You understand? That's important. If you know the right people, you know. Now I'll tell you, when it comes to a lot of these locals, and if you're gonna get a builder, somebody locally, well, let me not jump. Let me finish up the three things. So yeah, and then I'll get into that. So yeah, the price you would pay for an apartment is almost the same amount that you would pay for a damn house. So that's why I always say I wouldn't do an apartment. That's one reason. Two, with the coming now versus building versus buying. If you're gonna build from the ground up, it's always cheaper versus buying, because if you buying at a market value, guys. You buying at a market value. You know what I mean? So why spend all that money buying market value when you can build it and customize it yourself? You see what I'm saying? Now my house is customized. I have deep details on in that house that no other house has. You understand? Like that house that I'm building now. There's no house. I have not all the Airbnbs I have rented and stayed in a lot of nice villas. I have yet to stay in a villa with an indoor pool. That's one. That's one feature in the house. The indoor pool is a major feature. That's one feature. Two, the second feature is being able to walk upstairs on the second level and look and have a window to look down from the office, from my office and the other master suite. That's the second feature. That's the second feature. The third feature is the rooftop balcony. I got a spiral stairs. I really wanted to show you guys the video because it looks nice. It looks really, really good now. I'm all smiles now, guys. I'm like, once you got the whole structure up and Pañete's done, you're done. So yeah, so that's the third feature, the spiral stairs going up to the rooftop balcony. That's the third. The fourth feature is the I got a full bathroom on the rooftop. And then, you can look down to the pool area from the rooftop. You see what I'm saying? So all of that, all of these features, I have that no other house has. And that's the difference between building versus buying market. When you build, you can customize your shit how you want to. You have hands on deck on everything, down to the materials, down to the minor details of what you want. You see what I'm saying? You can, so that is the difference, you know. So and also you spend less of money. You spend less money doing it that way. But as I say, guys, the number one thing is having a local who's going to do you good, do the right thing by you, charge you not by the square footage. You know what I'm saying? My builder, everything. If I told y'all the price, I don't even gonna tell y'all because you know. But I tell you this, I just wish I would have found him in the beginning. Put it that way. Put it that way. But it's all good. God is good, man. God is good. I'm happy, and I pretty much conquered. You know what I'm saying? I did what I needed to do. You know, and I'm good. That's why I said I don't need to sell no more properties and the headaches with meeting people and people wasting my time and me spending money to go out there, and like that's the difference. Like out here, all the money that I spent, doing real estate out there, doing that shit here, I could have wrote all of that shit off at the end of the year. I didn't get nothing back, not even a thank you, Jay, or you people are something else, man. That's why I said you got to know when to, you tap into a business and it works. If it doesn't, if it works, you keep it moving. If it doesn't, you move on to something else, and that's just what it is. Be nice. What's going on? The indoor pool is dope, man. You have no idea. Y'all have no idea. The indoor pool. Once that, and that's another fee. Once that, cause see, my builder told me. He said, I'm gonna put love into this. I'm gonna put love. I'm gonna put love into it. And if you want to look for a builder, look for somebody that's older. That's older. That's older, guys. Look for somebody that's older. My builder's in his. I think he's in his. I gotta ask him how old he is. I think he's like in his 60s, maybe like late 50s, early 60s. But he did a lot. He did a lot. All the shit, extra shit that he did. If I would have went to a contracting company, put it to you this way, they'd have charged me. They did, man. I tell you this. This I'll tell you. When I initially before I hired him to do the job, I brought another builder in. You know how much the other builder told me it was going to cost me to finish up? He told me 100,000 to finish up my house, man. That's how much he told me, 100,000 to finish. As I'm like, man, you're bugging. You're bugging. Yeah, he told me 100 grand. So that's why I said you got to be careful when you're dealing with, hiring people. And then they might be skilled at what they could do, but nah, you're not gonna do that. Not with me anyway. I mean, you try, like in the words of shout out to Bo Rakes. I always listen that saying that he said. Sometimes sometimes, when you're trying to save money, you end up losing more. You know what I mean? And take that as a learning lesson, guys. Trying to save money in DR, you end up losing more. Cutting corners. Oh, this guy is cheaper than that guy. That guy is cheap. Nah. Mm-mm. You pay for what you get. You pay for what you get. But it's unfortunate that what they're doing now, they're just making it harder for people to build, to buy, because I'm hoping that the market does crash at some point. That's what I'm hoping for, so that people, because it's really hard, even with my house, because once it's all said and done, that's another thing, guys. I got the connection on and I'm sorry, I because every we'll talk about that, but I tell you this, I got the connection on the residency. Anybody that's looking to get their residency done, good price. This person is yeah, he's great, and you can have it done within a few 6 months to a year. So if you're looking, I'm just waiting on my to appraise everything. You see what I'm saying? Because and it's like it's really hard to tell how much housing is really worth. Where do they get the comps from? How? Because what confuses me the most is in DR. Let's just say you got Casa Linda, right? You got $1 million house here. You got a house here for 350. You got a house here for 250. Like how it's different here in the States. Most times, most homes are usually in the community are usually priced around the same. You see what I'm saying? But it's not like that there. So getting an appraiser to figure that shit out is I need to really be there to see this, because I want to see how. But in order for me to get fast tracked, my investments have to be worth $250,000 or more, in which my house is worth that. Is well worth over 250,000. Well worth that for anybody that said that I took, even even if I spent, listen, even if I spent, even if they got me and my, let's just say my I spent 200,000 and my house was only worth 50,000, I still made out good. I still got equity in it, no matter how you look at it. You know what I'm saying? No matter how you look at it, I still got equity in it. You know what I mean? So that's for people that's, oh, you got scammed, you got scammed. We've all gotten scammed in the Dominican Republic. I'm gonna say it time and time again, whether it be by Chica, buying shit at the Kamado, just regular. We all have got, guys. You gotta ask yourself though, at what cost? For real. But you really gotta do your due diligence. Throw your price out there and see if it sticks. What you mean, Crazy World 257, 25 7, 2570. I'm gonna be real. I'm going to be real. Or in total, if y'all really want to know, so far I done spent 175,000 on my home. 175. There you have it. I spent 175. I'm under 200,000. All right. For those who want to know. Go on Marketplace right now and see how much a 5 bedroom office indoor pool. I didn't already compare. My house is worth more than that, man. It's worth more than that. It's worth more than that. Comma, I got pictures and everything. I'm gonna put out a short. It's probably be about 2 minutes long, a minute, less than a minute, so you guys can see the update. When I end this live, that's what I'm gonna do. 175 is chump change. Well, it wasn't chump change for me because I had to. That came out out cash money out of my pocket, all cash money. Like I told y'all in the beginning, I took out a small loan in the beginning, and that loan is paid off. But I worked my ass off to make that shit happen. Things are worth what people are willing to pay. Exactly, Prince Be Nice. Definitely, definitely. And that's why, for those people, you got a lot of people. See, there have been properties that I have listed on there on the channel. Oh, you guys so oh, it's too expensive. And I tell them what you won't pay, somebody else will. That's the difference. What you won't pay, somebody else will. And I done already gave y'all the game. Knowing that it's an unregulated market, if you're gonna buy at marketplace, you gotta lowball their ass. You know what I'm saying? Well, lowball them. I've saved people money on the channel. People have said it. Oh, thanks. You saved me some money. You think he sent me a tip? Hell no. People love to get shit for free, but don't. My thing is, if I look at whatever information that you get that's informative and you capitalize on it, don't forget about the small guy. Don't forget about the small guy, man. You know, and I'm all about giving out the info. It costs me nothing. It costs me nothing because I don't. At the end of the day, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Throughout all this bullshit, I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God for it all. So, and as I said, anybody that's looking to come through me, I got the plug on that. The proof is in the pudding. I'm gonna put that video out so y'all can see. For those of you guys just tuning in, where I'm at, I done did the bars. The bars are up. Spiral stairs going up to the rooftop is done. Um, you know, all I gotta do is the ceramics. I done got the estimate on the ceramics. I'm just, getting that money up to do that. And see, and it's the good thing. The good thing about it is the Dominican way has always been. I'm gonna go back to that because that's how I'm able to do it. That's how I'm able to do it. Pay for my own materials, and my builder, I give him half, and that's is I tell y'all that all the time. When somebody is renting, no matter what it is, whether they're doing plumbing work, painting, you pay them half up front, and when the job is done, you pay them the rest. That's it. That's just to ensure that the job gets done. That's how you do it. You never pay them in full. Never pay full. You always pay half and then pay the rest when the job is completed. And that's how I'm able to manage. Because when it came time for him to do the roof, he told me, okay, you know what, it's gonna take. And I was, I don't even understand. I was panicking because once he did the roof, right? all of that wood, all of that wood, they need. He told me, he said, listen, if they take this wood, you're gonna have to pay again to bring it to pay for them to bring it back. He said, how much money you got? I ain't really have a whole. I said, listen, he said, give me 300,000 pesos. And we'll get started with that. Like he worked, y'all don't even understand. God is good. He worked with me, you know what I mean? And I managed to get that pañete and all that done. He told me it would take him a month to do it. So I gave him a down payment, and I all I needed was 4 weeks to finish paying him off the rest, and I was done. You see what I'm saying? So, it's always good to have a builder that's willing to work with your pockets. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these contracting companies, they not doing that. They not doing that. They ain't doing it. Look at prices in East New York. Man, prices is crazy here in the States. That's why I said it's not even worth buying anything here in the States. It's a seller's market, not a buyer's. It really is. It's not worth it. Everything I'm predicting a market crash here too in the States. Hopefully, because it's a shame people can't afford to buy anything. And I'll be damned if I leave my apartment. I've been here 10 years. If I leave anywhere, if I go somewhere else, I'm the kind of money. See, that's the thing, guys. Shout out to Crazy World. He sent me that. He says, you got to make yourself. Sometimes, when you trying to make shit happen for yourself, and you working hard, that sacrifice, man, is the sacrifices that we got to make. And he sent me something, and at that time I was feeling down, and I was just like, because you're gonna go through it. Building a house ain't for the weak. It's not for the weak, guys. It's not. He sent me something. It says sometimes you got to make yourself uncomfortable in order to be comfortable. You know what I mean? And I needed to hear that. You know what I mean? Because I was like, at that point, it was like the storm. You know what I'm saying? I was facing a storm at that point. But through God's grace, man, I got through it all. Got through it all, and now I'm ready to move on to the next chapter. You see what I'm saying? And the next chapter is, I don't want to talk about the next chapter yet, because the vision that I got, guys, y'all don't even understand. It's profitable. It's gonna bring money in. It's a way for me to leave the states without having to deal with people and their bullshit, and their indecisiveness. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the kind of market where it's gonna sell itself. You know what I mean? I don't gotta, you know what I mean? I don't gotta do none of that. So that's why I said, like, I'm done with this real estate stuff. I'm really done, guys. Y'all don't even understand. When I go to DR now, I want to be able to just go and relax. Relax. That's it. That's it. And you know what I thank God for too? I thank God for some of the brothers that I have met and connected with that are now from my channel, that are lifetime friends, man. Shout out to Chris, shout out to Greg, shout out to Crazy World Maurice, shout out to I said Chris, Greg, Maurice, and who's my other boy? And James. Shout out to James, man. Four solid brothers, man. Shout out to y'all brothers. Um, and Chris and James, man, I can't wait to do big things with y'all, man. It's always good to have a circle of not just support, but a circle of like-minded brothers, to see the vision, you know what I mean? And it's just a beautiful thing. So I can't wait for the future for that. And y'all will see. I'm not saying nothing. I done gave out enough information to people to capitalize on. But this, I ain't saying nothing. Y'all gonna see though. And anything you do, profitable, man. If it makes sense, I say do it. But also do your research and put all your ducks in a row before you do it. You see what I'm saying? Um, Me, I already had a plan. See, making me feel like I'm in DR. Y'all hear that, right? Made me feel like going out there dancing a little pachata right now. Let's see what's going on out there. I tell you, I live by Dominicans, man. My mechanic is Dominican. They be out here barbecuing on the weekends. Nah, but yeah, somebody just riding by. But yeah, yeah. I don't know. I didn't capitalize. I didn't put out enough information for y'all to capitalize on. So what I got going on, and the and you know, I'm just excited. I can't wait to get started. I can't wait. You know, and when you do a business too, try not to do something where the startup cost is not so much. You know, try to, you know, you want to start off small. Start off small and work your way up. With this, what I got going on, it's the start off course is not costing me a whole lot of money. You know, once I start doing it, then I'll be able to teach other people how to do it, how to start up, all the, you know, because I done already did my research. And once I did the numbers, I was just like, oh man, this. Oh yeah, I can't wait. This is my way out. I mean, if I put it to you this way, if things go the way I know they can go, um, I could foresee myself leaving the states even before 50. You see what I'm saying? Oh yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You know? But like I said, guys, it's all about planning and timing. And timing. And you know, it's okay if one plan does it, if you know one plan fails, but as I said, it's always good to have a backup in Dominican Republic. Always good to have a little reserves. And it's nothing, listen, if that plan don't fail, if that plan fail, at least you know you got something else to lean back on, and you ain't got to worry about, damn, I got to go back to America. Nah, that's not an option for me. And then, you know, if you one of those people that are living off of like SSD and all of that stuff, you got to report back uh to the states and all of that. Like, who wants to live like that? Nah, nah. You want to go down there and be able to thrive, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. Guys, it really don't cost a lot of money to live, especially if you one of those people that's growing your own stuff, and you know, you got your own home. You know, all of that stuff is, I'm telling you, it really don't cost a lot of money to live out there. It all depends on one's lifestyle. I know me, I could easily live off $1,000 a month in Dominican Republic. Easily. Easily. And honestly, buying food out is really cheap. You can get a meal for 250 pesos. We're talking about $3 and change. You know what I'm saying? So you know you, like I said, guys, I'm one of those people. I like to budget out things. I'm not one to. I just don't like doing things spontaneously when it comes to business anyway, and managing funds and shit like that. I'm not a spontaneous spender, and nah, I budget. This is how I've gotten this far. You think I'd have been able to build a house, going to other countries like I used to? Like, you don't think, man, you have no idea. Like, there's other countries I would have liked to visit, but you know, when you got a goal and a plan in mind, man, you gotta stay focused and don't let nothing, you know, stop you from, you know what I'm saying, from staying focused, you know. um and it's only temporary. Me too. What you mean, me too? What? Future Wealth Films, residency, Jay. Yeah, I'm gonna get my residency, man. I'm definitely gonna get the residency. Having a residency, it brings a lot of benefits to, you know, you just reap more benefits having a residency. It just, you know, it enables you to, you know, take out credit, take out loans in Dominican Republic. It just, you know, like, get your driver's license, all of that. uh Certain things, you know, you're able to get at a discounted rate as a local, opposed to as a foreigner or a tourist. leaving in my 40s. Yeah, yeah. It's no reason why, we can't do it. Trust me. I just I at my age now at 46, bro, I just feel like I don't have the desire to go out, and club, and all I'm about is just hustling and making my money, man. Now that I got this roommate, I told my mom. So mom's like, well, when your house is done, what are you gonna do? I was like, I'm gonna continue to keep a roommate. I enjoy being able to leave and get up and just go. You see what I'm saying? When I want to, you know what I mean, and not having to worry. You see what I'm saying? Because between y'all, my roommate paid majority of their rent. You know what I'm saying? So that's a benefit. It's a benefit. Um, so yeah. It allows me to save more money. But see, that's the thing. I'm gonna save and save and save and keep saving and save and save so that when I do, I put it to you this way. I said if it cost if I could build a house in 4 years and spend 175,000, there's no reason why I can't save 100K in 4 years and take my money and say I'm done. You see what I'm saying? On top of what I got going on in DR. So that's why I tell people when you're doing that transition, you're not only and shout out to Hermia. She don't even watch YouTube like that, but I'm gonna tell you the lady that gave me my inspiration, man, a West Indian woman from Trinidad. I was working with at the previous hospital, and at that time I was in my 30s, and she was like, you going back and forth to Dominican Republic. She was like, you better invest your money and start buying, try to buy you a land, try to buy you something out there, and listening to her is what really made me do it. And from her seeing my growth, she's like, Jay, I'm proud of you. This is a lady that's got a house here in Brooklyn. She's got a house in North Carolina, a house in Florida, a house in Trinidad. She's building a house right now in Tobago. You know what I mean? Woman is and she told me, she was like, Jay, she was like, me and her, we talk every now and again, because she's in my susu and I'm in hers. And for those of y'all know what susu is, if you know, you know. But she said to me, she said, Are you saving any money right now?" And I'm like, Hermie, I said, I can't. I said, right now, I'm trying to finish up the house and I'm doing, and you know what she said, Jason, listen to me. She said, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. I don't care. She said, she said, there's something else that you can cut back on. She said, you're 46 years old. I'm telling you now, this is what you need to do. She says, I don't care if it's $10, $25, whatever you get extra out of your check every week, you take that money and you put it in a savings account and you leave it there. That is part of your retirement money. You know what she told me, y'all? She said, and she's retired. She said, she retired this year. She said, look, I'm retired and I ain't even touched my retirement check. She said, all that money that I've been saving over the years, she said, how you think I'm able to go to Africa? How you think I'm able? She said, that's money that I just saved over the years. I ain't even touched my retirement money. I'm like, damn, damn. Yeah, she doing it. She's doing it. Crazy world, she's doing it. She's doing it big. She's doing it big. I love her, man. Love. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? all right, good. Because somebody had called me, and all right, good. Um, yeah, but yeah, man, she's, I love this woman, man. She's dope. She's dope. Like, and I said, she's like, that's how you want to be. You want to invest. And then I got another. Oh, I forgot too. I forgot to shout him out too, man. How did I forget to shout out? Another brother from Canada. If you watching, bro, I forgot your name. Man. He put me onto some game too. You know. And you know what he told me too? See, I couldn't see that's what I said. Like doing this YouTube, doing this channel, it has been a blessing to it's been a blessing for me to be able to meet solid brothers like a lot of y'all that I'm now connected with as like lifetime friends. But this brother, he told me, he said, Jay, he said, he said to me, he said, I'm gonna put you onto something. And he said, I'm doing this because I see you always help a lot of people, and he said I want to give this to you. And man, when the game he put me on, man, that's another investment. Something else I got going on. You know what I mean? So, that's why I say God is good, man. When you do things from your heart with no intention, God knows your heart, and the people know whether you full of shit or whether you not. You know what I'm saying? The transparency speaks for itself. I mean, even though I've had some of y'all like question my transparency, but you can't please everybody, bro. You can't please everybody, Um that's what I've learned. You can't please everybody, but to be able to have that brotherhood, it's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing. I got these brothers like I talk some of y'all, some of these brothers I talk to them more than I talk to my own family, man. One of them was just calling me. That's why I got disconnected. The hookup for the residency. Okay, you want the hookup on the residency? Inbox. Just email me. I don't. I used to give out my number, but bro, I had some weird people calling me, man. So I'm gonna give you my email and just email me and I'll send you his number through the email or whatever. TaylorJayson01 at gmail.com. Yeah, because he reached out to me. And in actuality, I was supposed to do a live with this brother, and he speaks English too. I gotta reach back out to him because we were supposed to do a live. I wanted to bring him on the platform and him talking about the residency process, and he was with it. He was with it. So I just gotta correlate a time that's good for him, and we'll go ahead and do that too. You know what I mean? For anybody that's looking to do their residency. Me, I'm just I know an expat that did his own residency. He did all the legwork. I wanted him on the channel, guys, but some people are private, so I had to respect his privacy. But he told me, he said, Jay, I could show you from start to finish how to go about doing it. You know what I mean? It's a lot of legwork, but it is cheaper if you do it on your own. You know what I mean? But me, with all the shit I got going on, I ain't got the time. So when he told me his price, I was like, you know what? That's doable. Let me just wait until the house is done. I get the appraisal on that, on my current the other land and everything, and then I'll go ahead and get do the fast track for the residency. Yeah. So that's all I'm waiting on. I'm just waiting on the house to be finished and then them to come in and do the appraisal because it's not a whole lot of money. It's not. I think his price is I think he said like 1,700, guys. Not bad. Not bad because everybody else and he showed me proof of, showed me proof, you know what I mean? So and willing to come on the channel and all of that. So, he's transparent. He's legit. He's legit. He's legit. So, but yeah, that's a definite. You invested in a country, you need to have a residency. It just you hold more weight. It holds more weight having that. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, yeah. So I would say once you buy your house, finish your property, you get your deslinde. Because most cases the land you most land that you buy is not worth 250 until you start building on it. Then that's why I have to wait until my house is done, because I know it's the land itself wasn't worth that, worth over 250, or more. So that's why I got to finish waiting until it's all done. And then between both properties, it's well worth more, over the 250. You can vote, you can do everything except vote. Exactly. Exactly. You can do everything but vote. Yeah. And I wanted to mention to you guys too. Um, a lot of us, and I didn't. I just recently started doing it. God forbid, because a lot of us who do a lot of traveling, man, it's important to have it. If you don't already know, you should be taking out some kind of travels insurance. you know you should take out travel insurance, because it covers you for pretty much everything. It covers you for any hospitalizations. It covers you for delayed flights. If you got to stay over, it covers that. It also covers the main thing, renting a car for collision. You know what I mean? So if you get into a car accident, you are covered with your travels insurance. All right. So if you let's just say you want to rent a car from a local, which I normally do, you don't have to take out the full coverage on it, because now you're covered with your travels insurance, and it's not that much. If you're staying in DR for 3 weeks or more, you need to have that, guys. I say, yeah, you need to have it. You should have it anyway, just even just in case. It's just a good safety blanket, because you never know what can happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. Did you ship anything to the DR? Not yet, but let me show you what I got. Speaking of which, guys, I got some stuff that I'm about to ship in a couple of, maybe, I'm thinking like uh June, because I'm going for July. So yeah, can I turn it over? I don't think I can. But I got all of this stuff here going. I got boxes, got some stuff right here. So yeah, yeah, I'm shipping all of this stuff like, like July, like June, because it takes about 2 weeks. I still got a lot of more stuff to ship. That's a whole nother thing, y'all. You think after doing the house that I'm done? Nah, furnishing that shit is a whole nother budget. That's a whole nother budget, you know. Yeah, so it's a lot. Let me see. There are cargo companies. We got a lot here in New York, man. I normally use Mary Cargo Express. That's normally what I use. And see, one thing about living, that's one reason why I said I could never live anywhere else in the United States but New York, because for one, shipping, we can ship like DR, door to door, literally. A barrel is running me $135. They come to my house. I gotta pack it, of course. All that food you see, I gotta pack all of that stuff. $135. They come and pick it up and they deliver it straight to where it's going in the Dominican Republic. I have never had any issues shipping anything through them. And speaking of shipping too, guys, I got the info on how to order stuff on Amazon and have it delivered to Dominican Republic. For those who don't know, all right, I got that info on that. through one of my viewers on TikTok, man. You know, just meeting people, like-minded people, man. Like, you know, it's always good to get informative information. He gave it to me, so now I know how, you know, to go about doing that. You got to set up an account, and of course, you know, things that are bigger, you got to pay. You know, so depending on the size of it, you know, it could cost you. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. Bro, I started doing that the last 3 years. I was crazy for not doing it. What'd you do, Crazy World? What would you do? What'd you do? Let me plug in my phone. What'd you do? And that's why I'm not like, I tell you this, guys. If you once you know these are for the people that's building the house and doing it like me, you know? Yeah, yeah, for those that call me broke, yeah, I am broke right now. I am because I gotta furnish a whole house after building the shit. So yeah, I am broke. I'm always broke. Building the house, you're always gonna be broke. Okay. If you don't know, you'll know once you start doing it. Um, hold on. Oh, insurance. Um, insurance. The insurance, bro. You can get full coverage for like travels insurance, like 175, bro. It's not a whole lot of money. It's really not. But it's you we need that. If for brothers and sisters that's traveling, you know, like we move, you need to have that. Need to have it. It covers all of that. Like I said, medical expenses, delays in flights, they reimburse you on that. Cancel flight cancellations, reimbursement. If you got to stay in a hotel, they take care of that. Any you know injuries and car accidents, they take care of collisions. So they all of that. You know. Um, G Styles, what's good, bro? How much are the architect plans in DR on average and starting cost to do foundation? Okay, so architectural plans to run, it depends. It depends on who it is. Um, it can range anywhere between 15, 1,500 to about some will tell you 5,000. You know, yeah. So any I wouldn't pay no more than 2,000 for a set of architectural plans. You know, and you can always negotiate the price. You can always negotiate it. Yeah. Now foundation. Um, to start a foundation, normally about 25,000, because that's how much I started with, you know. It was like 20, started like 25,000 is what it cost me to do my foundation. So about 25, bro. About that, you know. And then also you gotta count, you know, the size of the crib. You know what I'm saying? My crib is big, you know what I'm saying? So it all depends on the size of the house. Because once my house, I can't really tell you the size of the house when it was single, when it was first level. I think it was like I think it was like maybe 150, 100 is something, bro. I can't tell you offhand. I tell you now the size. My house is almost 600 square feet. You know, it's almost 600. You met the builder, so you know he told it's almost about 6,000 square feet. Yeah. But you know, you start, you know, like I said, guys, you start. You got to start somewhere. Start with your foundation, like I did, and you know, you do a little at a time. You do what you can do when you can do it. What's the rush? You know, what's the rush? Not unless you looking to move fast or you got the money to build fast. If you got the money to build fast, kudos to you. But if you somebody that's, you know, doing it over time, just take it for somebody like me. If I could do it in 4 years, you could do it too in 4 years. And if you can't do it, if it take you 6 years, shit, it take you 6 years. But the idea is to start now. You know, start now. Yeah, before especially before materials start going up because that shit is never gonna go down. Materials is never gonna go down. I mean, well, they you know when they usually go down when you really got to take advantage of materials, the price of materials around the holiday time. It's Christmas, New Year's, around that time, because that's when I saved a lot of money. I did. I saved a lot of money. My builder told me, he was like, "Listen, he gave me," and that was another thing. He was honest with me because the initial price was it was much. I saved about shit. I think I saved about a good maybe about I don't remember, but it was a nice amount of money. I can't remember, but it was I saved a decent amount with that price drop. Yeah, so that's when you should be really looking around that time to buy materials and stuff like that. Yeah. And then even with furniture, guys, let's talk about it. Furniture. Let's talk about furniture. Let's talk about cars and all of that because these are another things I gotta start setting in place because that's one I don't have a car, and ask yourself this: uh, if you somebody like me that's been traveling there since 2016, ask yourself how many times you don't rented a car and times that by 9 years, almost 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Times that by 10 years, man. That I done paid for a car, So you know, I gotta get a car. That's another thing. And in the furniture, I weighed that out. Furniture, I'm just gonna buy in Dominican Republic. But this is the problem. The problem is that Puerto Plata doesn't have the kind of furniture I like. You see what I'm saying? Like the kind of if you looking for American style, like nice and I'll be real with you. I done did my research, talking to some of the expat women. Y'all know women love interior decorating and shit like that. So those are the best to go to when it comes to that. So shout out to Miss Sharonda if you're watching. Talking with her, she put me on to a few um furniture places. And one, they have an outlet and Santo Domingo, and then they have one in Punta Cana. How am I going to get the furniture from there to here? But it would be cheaper for me to just buy it there than to have it shipped from the states, especially when we're talking like couches and stuff like that. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not. I'm gonna buy, and I've seen it. The name of the furniture spot is called Luminel. Um, and they do have an Ashley Furniture in Santiago, I hear. So who's to say? Well, I'm gonna check it out and see what they got going on. But I know for a fact I'm not, even when it comes to appliances, guys. Because if you initially I was like, oh, I'm gonna ship my fridge and ship my TVs, and if it doesn't make sense to ship televisions and stuff from the states over there. For one, if something goes wrong with that TV, your warranty is done. So you might as well buy it there. At least there you got a warranty. If something goes wrong, you can get it fixed. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. And then the price of shipping a TV, because I didn't already priced it out. Now I'll tell you this: if you are buying, now let's say you're buying a television, during the only way it's worth shipping a TV from the states. Well, I say from New York because I don't know how shipping goes in other states, but the only way you'll save money on shipping a big TV from the states to DR is if you buy that TV like during Black Friday. You know what I'm saying? Because the cost to ship let's just say a 50-inch, I think it's almost like $200. You know what I'm saying, to ship a 50-inch. Now to ship like uh um with the 32 inches, I'll ship those all day from here. I done shipped a few from the states over there because you can get a 32 inch on Amazon for $79, and they charge you $75 to ship it. So you only paying under $200 for that. And I already priced it out to buy a 32-inch in DR. That shit is like almost $400. It's almost $400 to buy a 32-inch. So I'm just like, well, you know what? That's where I'll be getting my TV. I'll be shipping my TVs from the States. Those I'm definitely gonna ship. And I already said I got 5 bedrooms to furnish. Each bedroom is gonna have a 30-inch TV. The master suites, well, I'm sorry, 4 bedrooms will have 32 inches, and both master suites will have. My suite is gonna have about. I'm gonna put a big TV in there in the master suite. In my master suite, maybe like a 70 or something like that, and then in the other master suite like a 50 inch. You know, but yeah, it's cheaper to ship 32 inches out of New York than it is to buy one in Dominican Republic. For anybody that lives here in New York, just so you know. Um, Let me answer some more. Um, yeah, I spend an unbelievable amount of money on rentals. I'm going to buy a Jeep next year, 4x4, Nibicon or Grand Cherokee. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a four. You know, I need a 4x4 too. G Styles. Yeah, they say either Santiago or La Vega is the place to go to buy. You know, so yeah, I'm just gonna buy one flat out, man. I don't need nothing. Listen, as long as it's reliable and it should get me to where I need to get. That's all I'm concerned about, you know. But it's definitely got to be a 4x4. Ultimately, I really would like to get a pickup truck. That's what I really want. I want a pickup truck. That way, if I need to, transport stuff, I got a truck to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking I really want to buy me one of those. Yeah, like a Dodge Ram or something like that. But those are they pricey. They're a little pricey up there. But I've been looking. I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace just to kind of compare prices of the kind of cars that they selling on there. Yeah, but I definitely got to have a 4x4. Tap into one of the chinos and see if they can order your furniture from China. Um, that's another thing that I want to do as well. Um, because I already as you know, I didn't mention that to y'all before. Like I used to have my own e-commerce business selling apparel and stuff online. you know, Mo, you done bought a few things for me, so knockoffs and shit, but good quality stuff. Um, you know, I got a direct contact from China where they deliver it, right from here. But they told me they deliver they can have my stuff sent to Dominican Republic, but I gotta find out like on what scale. Like, if they shipping stuff to you on a large scale, you got to pay taxes on that. So I got to do my research on that. Because in the future, I would like to be able to buy directly from China if in case I want to buy materials and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, cut out the middleman is always better. um who's paying the custom tax? If you're referring to the custom tax for shipping like food and TVs, no, there's no tax on that, comma. There's no tax on that, bro. You don't pay no taxes. The good thing about shipping from New York, like I said, my brother, is it's a flat rate. That's it. That is it. Um, for a large barrel, it's 135. For a smaller one, I think it's like 120. And then if you want to do boxes, they allow you to ship, I think 3 boxes for how much is it? Three boxes for $100. And the boxes are they're about 4 feet. I don't ship, not bad. I'm telling you, not bad. So I'll tell you what's worth shipping. Just if you live in New York. Now, I had I was trying to make it a business doing it here, but I only had one of y'all from the channel that I did that for, and I was like, well, shit. If people want to do it, I could be their third party or whatever. I was looking at doing it as a business, but nah. But anyway, you can also, guys, if y'all want to ship, like, let's just say you want to ship a TV and you live in another state. All you got to do is call. I can provide you with the company number, and you can call them, have it shipped, have whatever it is that you want shipped on Amazon, like let's just say you want to ship a TV, a 32-inch TV on Amazon, which I recommend, you can have it shipped directly to the shipping company and they can ship it right to DR. You ain't even gotta, you see what I'm saying? They can do that for you. So if you want to do that, if you want to go that route, you can do that, guys. Just so you know, you can call them right up and they can do it. Yeah, you just have it delivered to that address, and they can ship it for you. So I can buy a couple of old LD TVs from Costco and ship it. Yeah. Where do you live in New York, or where do you live, bro? Where do you live? Let me know where you live. Because if you don't live it, like I said, it's only feasible for you to ship 32 inches from Amazon, because it's only $75 per TV to ship. You see what I'm saying? Yo, fam, I need a 75-inch. I'm spoiled. So how would I do that? Okay. Um, Victor Santiago, where do you live, bro? Where do you live? Oh man, so you lit, man. You lit. Bro, let me hold on for 1 minute. Damn. Let me see something. Just Google Mary Cargo Express. Google, all you gotta do, anybody that's looking to ship, Google Mary Cargo Express. I don't have their number on hand. Hold on, let me see. It's gonna pause. Let me see. Give me 1 minute, y'all. Actually, I can't do it. I can't. It's Mary Cargo Express. They're located in Brooklyn, New York. They ship all the time. You can have your stuff in 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, but I usually have my stuff usually gets there like no more than 18 days, guys. They good. All right, so Victor, for you, since you in North Carolina, just Google Stanford Roberts said Liberty Express is good too. They in Miami. Okay, so you try Liberty Express and try Mary Cargo Express here in New York. All you gotta do is call them up, tell them that you want to ship. You're buying a TV on Amazon or wherever you're gonna buy it online. Have it shipped to their address. Once it's shipped there, you just pay them the money. You could they do Zelle pay and all of that, man. You pay them by phone and they'll ship it out. They'll ship it out to you for you. But I'm telling you now, to ship that 75-inch, it's gonna run you, I think, about $300 to ship that. Just so you know, it's gonna run you about 300. Don't quote me on it, but I think it's about that. I think it's about 300. I know Amazon ships direct. Um, I haven't gone that route yet, only because I'm here in the States. You know what I'm saying? And most stuff that I ship is, um, like food and stuff like that. I got a little family out there I take care. You know what I mean? I got a little, but anyway, so I send food and stuff like that, and uh food, clothes. What else? What else do I got? Let me show you. I got a ceiling fan that I bought. I bought some dishes, stuff like that. You can put in boxes. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that you can put in boxes, guys. Yo, for those of y'all watching, tap the screen. Don't forget to hit the like, guys. I gotta say that every now and again. Hit that like, hit that like. But yeah, and the good thing with here, see the disadvantage is for y'all. I don't know, for you, Victor, is that anything that you want shipped, you're gonna have to do it that way. But for people who live in Miami and New York, I don't know how it works in Miami, but New York, they make it really easy for us, man. Like I said, they come right here to my crib. For those of you guys who've been following me for a while, I'm sure y'all seen the shorts. I've done shorts on it where they come to the crib, pick it up, and they wheel it right out of here. They come with a pulley, and I live on the second floor. They come and take that shit and take it right on out of here. Yep. And it's a flat rate. I don't pay no more than 135. And as I said, for boxes, you pay you pay $100 to ship 3 boxes. In all honesty, I'm gonna be real. The only reason why I prefer to ship the boxes because you could put more in them. You see what I'm saying? The only reason why I'm shipping is barrels because I'm putting food in there. I like to put it this way: barrels, I like to put food in, canned goods and all that stuff. It's barrels is good for that, but boxes is good for because, like for instance, the ceiling fan that I got and the dishes, that's already in the box. I'm not taking it out of the box. I'm gonna put it right in the boxes that I'm, you know what I'm saying, that I'm shipping them in. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say like boxes is good for stuff like that. Um, yeah, but yeah, it's I've been shipping to DR for years, man. It's convenient. Never had any problems. I didn't got to worry about. They never go through my barrels or anything like that. There have been times where I've literally shipped and the barrel arrived the same day. That happened out of the 10 years I've been traveling there. That's happened to me twice, where the barrel arrived the same day that I got there. Yeah. K9 Farron Entertainment. What's good, my guy? What's good? Liberty Express charges by the weight. Nah, see, I don't like that. I don't like that weight shit because now when you gotta charge, when you like when it comes, see, I gotta I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go by there and do a live and just go in there so y'all can see the spot, and that way they can give you guys a price breakdown if a person wanted to ship a couch and stuff like that. But for me, it's just I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it to ship furniture. I'm gonna be real. My friend, shout out to Miss Sharonda. She says she's shipping beds because she's got a lot of beds that she don't use. So, she just got a new apartment in Punta Cana, and she told me her and her husband they shipping their beds and stuff. But bedding, that might be that I don't know. I got to see if it's feasible to just buy betting here. Because I will be real, for those of you guys who know. For those of you who don't, you will know when you get down there, especially if you got to rent out an Airbnb. A lot of Airbnb beds don't be comfortable, man. They just don't. They don't be comfortable. So I'm like, I need to sleep in comfort. And I just know, like, here we got comfortable, comfortable mattresses. And I don't know, DR, I'm on the fence about that. Especially for me, you know what I'm saying? Like my guest bedrooms, that's something different. But I'm talking about like for me. um Now we need a cheap storage unit. Right. And you just come on, you just gave me a good idea, bro. You just gave me a good idea. Hmm. With that. I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna get back to you on that storage unit in a minute. Does Amazon deliver to your home in DR? No, they don't deliver to your home in DR. There's certain addresses that Amazon delivers to, and they'll tell you. Um, you know what? I think I'm gonna do a whole YouTube video on that, a tutorial on it. Just give me a little of, just give me about a week, cause I'll be busy, man. But give me a week. Let me do my research on it. But there are hubs like how we have like UPS hubs here. There's like hubs where you go and pick up your stuff. They don't so no, they don't deliver. But yeah, there's hubs where you can go and pick it up. Cause I there man, there's Americans out there that buy stuff from Sheen and all that stuff, Amazon and all that stuff. So yeah, you can order stuff now. When it comes to big stuff, I do believe it goes by the weight. Let me ask you, Stanford, if you still on, for anybody that's living in Miami, they might want to know, like, when you say that they charge by the weight, is that everything, or is it like specific things, like TVs, like everything you shipped is weighed? I'm just curious because that's crazy to me if that's the case. Um, uh, Victor said, now, how much bread could I bring to DR on a flight? I heard if it's over 10,000, you have to speak on it, or can I just bring it and keep? All right, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I did it once, and I'll never do it again. Cause you just, I went with 13,000 at one time. This was like in the beginning, But I tell you this: if they catch you, they taking anything over 10 grand, they're whopping that, and you can kiss that 3,000 goodbye. So uh, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I took a risk doing it, but don't do it, bro. Because the last thing you want is them to whop you from that. You don't want them to whop that. Um, they use a third party to deliver to your crib. Okay. Clay Furious, how much what? How much what? Nah, no problem, bro. No problem. Do you go over budget when you're building your house in DR? And how could someone avoid that if so? Do you go over budget when building your house in DR? And how could someone avoid that? Like, what do you mean avoid? How could somebody avoid going over a budget? I don't understand what you mean about how could someone avoid that. But yeah, you start with a budget. Of course, we all have a budget. If you're looking to build from the ground up, you need to get with an architect. You need to get with an architect, right? And that way, the architect, you tell them what your budget is. Now, see how these architects, you can give them a design or whatever, and then they're gonna tell you how much it is, how much your house is going to cost you based on what they're designing, if you get what I'm saying. And they're telling you that price based off of square meters. You see what I'm saying? What they like to do, and listen to me clear, guys, for those of you guys looking to build, what they like to do is tell you, oh well, what do you want? You want basic, mid, or luxury quality? It's no such thing. They basic is. I'll tell you. I could tell you what basic is. A lot of these pre-constructions that they're building in Punta Cana, they look nice, but the ceramics is like basic. Basic. It looks nice. It's like a nice basic. You see what I'm saying? So that's what they tell you when they say basic. But man, that's why you know, I always say it's better to just build and go with somebody that's going to allow you to buy your own materials, and screw that whole paying per square meter, because if you do it like that, you're going to end up paying more than you're basically going to be paying market price to build your house. You see what I'm saying? If you go through a contracting company, they're building your house at market value, if that makes sense. It is. It is true. I'm not lying. I mean, you guys do the research. Don't take it for what I'm telling you. But if it's the truth, that's the difference versus building like finding a local. Now I'll tell you, my local. He's my builder. The current one. He's an older man. He uh he's good at what he does. He's very, but in terms of like his being able to communicate with him is very difficult. It's very difficult because good thing I know the Spanish that I know, communicate between him and his grandson. But now I don't need his grandson because now I kind of could understand what he's saying. But you could tell like his education is limited, but that doesn't take away from his skill set. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, his education is limited. I realize that based on how he writes to me in Spanish, that his education is limited, but that doesn't take away from his skill set. The man is skilled at what he does. You see what I'm saying? So, and you will find that with a lot of older Dominicans. A lot of them didn't finish school, but That's because they were learning how to build homes and doing construction and all that shit. You see what I'm saying? Don't don't let that deter you from finding a good local that's skillful. They might not be educated, but they are skilled. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them, unfortunate, that's what a lot of them. The ones with educations in architect and maestros, the ones that have their degrees, now they're now you got to pay them for what they're worth. Those are the ones that are charging, like market price to build. You see what I'm saying? um, yes, but I have never sent large items, mainly clothes, shoes, small electronics. Okay, okay. So on average, let me for somebody that's living in Miami, on average, how much would you say you spent to send those things, those items that you mentioned, bro? Your house, Kappa Man 69, Kappa Kappa, what's going on, bro? Long time, long time. I'm almost finished, bro. I'm on this year. I'm bro. I'm gonna like I said, when I end this live, I'm gonna put out a short. All right, so y'all can just look for the short so you can see what it's looking like. For those of you who are just joining in, second floor is done. Pagnette is done. Bars are done. Um, I'm doing the ceramics next, and then the windows, and then I got to do the countertops for the kitchen. And then, guys, my house is livable. Buy the appliances, fridge and stove, and then I'll be furnishing one room at a damn time because I got other things that I'm trying to do. Um, Let me see. Big items I would just buy there. Okay. Everybody go over budget. Material prices go up. You add things during exactly. You gotta that's that you. I'm glad you mentioned that crazy world. For those who are building over over a course of time, you need to calculate, add that into your budget because you're gonna expect cement, especially. And let me tell you something. Summertime is when it's busy. That's when it's the busiest. It's hard to find maestros, especially skilled ones who are, good at what they do. Because anybody that's skilled and good at what they do, they're working. You see what I'm saying? Finding them and finding laborers is going to be hard. So that's why I said and then the price goes up in the summer. If y'all don't know, the price of materials start going up because now it's in high demand. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty much skipped all of that. I don't the materials. I'll put it to you like this: the ceramics on the top level is costing me now. That's for the whole entire floor. I already got the estimate. That's including the office, the balcony, the entertainment common space, the bathrooms, and the his and her double sink. That's running me 4,700, 4,700 just for the ceramics and the sink. You see what I'm saying? Now I haven't even gotten the quote on. He hasn't given me the quote on how much it's going to cost me to uh to do the labor. That's a whole nother budget. You know what I mean? But once you buy the materials, because that's what my builder advised me. He said, Jay, buy him. He said, do the bars first. Secure your home. That way nobody can get in. He said, and then once you buy your materials, they can deliver them. Your materials are safe, and then we'll go ahead and start doing the installation. But the good thing with my builder is that he's a master in pools and flooring is his specialty. So I'm man, you don't even understand. Like, I'm saving a lot of money because with the pool area, I can't, because that I told him, what I told him, guys. I said, since that's your specialty and that's what you do, do whatever you want with the pool. Whatever I'm gonna let him do whatever he wants with that. You know, I don't want no say. I said you that's all you. Do whatever you just tell me how much it's gonna cost me to do whatever materials you need, and you go ahead and do it. But I did ask him, I was curious. I asked him, I said, what do you know, because I gotta for those of you guys that seen the pool area, you see like I wanted to do like a waterfall like thing. And I said, well, what are you gonna do with the that wall? And he said, I'm gonna do a waterfall. So I'm wondering like what kind of a waterfall. I'm thinking when I think of waterfall, I'm thinking, like the one of these, regular waterfalls. No, he told me he's gonna install shelves and do rocks and have rocks flowing down. I said, oh man, you bad for that. So I am excited for that pool, for him to do that, because that's gonna be like a major wow factor. Major, major, major. Um, let me read some more of these comments. Uh, how long will they store? How long will they store and hold the barrel for? Um, Normally they pick it up once you call them to pick it up. It gets barrels. They ship out once a week or once or twice a week, I believe. So once they come and pick it up, it gets shipped out that same week. You know what I mean? And then once it gets on the ship to get, to be cargoed out, it usually takes anywhere between no more than 18 days, bro. No more than 18 days. I normally time it. I usually when I ship and I know that I'm going down there, it always gets there either when I get there or before I get there. I have never shipped where it's came after. So I'm always on time when it comes to my timing is good. I got that shit down to a science now. Yeah, so I usually know, when to ship. So if you looking at, ship and receive it when you get there, just know it takes anywhere 15 to 18 days. 18 days tops. Um I sold my condo in Cabarete and currently building a townhouse in Sosua. Nice, nice. How much is they're running you to build that townhouse, bro? $5 to $30. Stanford, that's not bad. So you telling me that's how much you spent? Because if that's not a bad price to ship, yeah, that ain't bad. What's the cost of labor in the DR for the Haitian builders? Because they are the ones I see doing all the work. Okay, for a laborer, the costing price for a laborer now is anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 pesos. So it can range anywhere between 1,000 pesos a day. In most cases, 1,000 pesos a day. For the laborers to but then you got to have you like my builder is a maestro. You see what I'm saying? He's the one that that his specialty is pools and doing pools and ceramics, but he's the one that oversees everything to ensure that everything is getting done properly. The maestro is the one that they get paid a different price. You see what I'm saying? I don't know how he did the calculation for his price, but I tell you this much: his prices were good. You see what I'm saying? And I was pleased. I was very happy with what he was charging. He was cheaper than anybody else. I put it to you this way: the prices that he's quoting me is Dominican price, and I'm comparing it based on what I paid for the first floor. You see what I'm saying? Oh yeah, don't think that I didn't compare the prices. I compared the prices down to the ceramics and everything. You know, so yeah, I spent a lot. I spent a little bit more on the first floor. I did. I spent more. I put it to you this way: I spent more on the first floor than I did on the second. Yeah, I spent more than I. Yeah, the second, no way near. What I spent on the first. but you gotta include the foundation. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm talking about in terms of like the bars and the ceramics, and the windows. See the thing I like about my builder when he did the bar work, and he even saved me money with that too, because the door that he used for the top, I can't wait to show y'all for those who haven't seen the house yet. Um, the door that he put for the to exit out on the roof, I had already had like this metal there. He said, you were gonna use that to make your doorway. He said I'm gonna and what he did was the guy that did all the bar work was his brother, so he kept all the business in the family. So I got a good deal. I got a good deal. I got a good deal on the bar work. I got a good deal on pretty much everything. The only thing that I didn't get a good deal on was the ceramics. Ceramics, you pay for what you pay. Their price is their price, but and he did extra work. See, the thing is with my builder now, he fixed things that needed to be fixed that they didn't do, previous builder didn't do. He had to fix his work, and he did some additions. Like I wasn't. I'm gonna be real. Doing a bathroom up on the rooftop, not just a half a bath. He did a full bath on that rooftop, so you can literally shower up there and everything. You see what I'm saying? I didn't. That wasn't included in that. He included that in the price. You know, so that's which I'm happy about. So now I got a bathroom on the rooftop. So in all, I got 5 bedrooms, right? 5 bedrooms and 5.5 bathrooms. 5.5 baths. Yeah. Let me see. Uh Copperman, did you have to pay capital gains when you sold? I didn't put it on my taxes. I know that's right, Copperman. I'm talking in DR, it's like 27%. I don't think DR is reporting anything to the IRS. No, they're not. They don't report. Okay, I was told the what doesn't yeah, that doesn't get reported to the IRS. That doesn't get reported. That no, if you sold your house in DR, that does that the United States doesn't have shit to do with that, bro. They don't have anything to do with that. That has nothing to do with them. Now, DR, I don't know if they ask, for a tax. I don't know. I don't think they're not. Copperman is they no, they're not. 140,000 because I am allowing Casa Linda to use my townhome as a model for 6 months, so I got a good deal on it. That's great. That's great. How many bedrooms is that townhome, Copperman? How many bedrooms? I want to sell mine, but I read the Dominican government gonna tax me, and the agents get 3 to 7% commission. This is what you do to avoid them getting that commission. It's actually 5%. It's a 5% commission. Crazy world. So to avoid them paying the commission, to avoid you having to pay the commission, you can tell the agent let's just say you want to sell it for 52,000, right? Whatever commission she would be asking for on that 52,000, you tell her to add the commission onto that price so that you don't have to come out of your pocket and pay the commission. That's how you avoid that. That's if you decide to sell. You see what I'm saying? You just tell the agent, all right, I'm selling it for 52. Oh, you want 3,000 as a commission? All right. So then we'll sell it for 55 and then you take your 3,000. That's what most owners do, when it comes to that. Um 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths equals 1,400 square meters, new construction. Okay. 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. And you paying 149,000. Okay. All right. It's 14,000 square feet of construction. So that's a little over what? That's like 700. 14,000 square feet. What is that like? 300 square meters of construction, 200 square meters of construction, or 250 or something like that. I think. But yeah, guys. Um, yeah, the the price. I needed that. But yeah, the price, the price of building a house. Because I'm curious. I got another set of plans here. You know, because I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, guys. Like I got options. I'm like with the builder that I got now, right? And because I asked him for those of you guys that seen the property, 2 stories with the pool, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. That's not bad. But I'm thinking, depending, um, and let me ask you a question, Copper Man. That 149. That includes your permit fees and all of that stuff. Does that include all your fees, permit fees, zoning fees, and all of that? Let me just curious to know. Um, yeah, with my with my current builder, right? I now that I got the right guy, because I really want. He's good. He's been good to me. He's been really good, and I really want to keep him working. I already got him a client for my channel. Once my house is done, he's gonna build because he's buying a property right across from me. Right across from me. We're going down in July to seal a deal. He's buying that, and then we're trying to buy that mountain up there because I got plans for up there. I got plans for up there where I live, guys. I got plans. um, but I lost my train of thought. Let me see. Yeah, oh yeah, what I was saying with the okay, Casa Linda is selling them for 199,000 now. Wow, it includes everything except deed, title transfer, and tax. Okay, okay, okay. So you got to pay for all of that yourself. Got it. Um, yeah, I'm trying to decide because I'm looking at it like this. Okay, my goal really is to have 100,000 before I leave the United States, but you know, it took me 4 years to build this big house. If I decide to build another one, which I have, that's an option. There's always an option, and I can do it fast this time because now I don't got all the bullshit that I went through with the first guy, and you know what I'm saying, guys. Like now I can get this shit done. Like and I'll be honest with you, if I do decide to build another house, it's not going to be anything big. Nowhere near what I did. What I did this house that I'm doing finishing up now. That'll be the biggest I because I'm not building nothing bigger than that. Nah, it's not gonna happen. But maybe like a tiny home. Something like 600 60 square meters, and then build like a top and bottom. You know what I'm saying? Because with my builder, I already know to build a tiny home, I probably spend with him maybe no more than 30, 40,000, to build like a 2 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 2 bath. It probably cost me no more than 40,000 with him. I know that for a fact, based on the prices that he's given me with this second level. I'm just like, so I already have floor plans for another house, but I'm not trying to build nothing that big. The only way I would build something that big is if I came into some money. You see what I'm saying? But I'm looking to build something small. Small. If I decide to do it, but I got options. um yeah, so that's my plan. That's my plan, trying to figure out whether or not I want to go through the whole process again. My boy was like, "You crazy. I wouldn't do it if I was you." But at the same time, I do want to have um money flowing when I'm living down there full time. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, I told you I got a plan B. That's not plan B. The building the house and generating income. That's not the plan B. You know that's actually plan C. Building the house would actually be plan C. You know what I mean? Building a tiny home. You know, but I could with with how I'm making money and working the way I'm working, I could have that tiny home built within like no lie, guys. I can have that shit done within about uh less than 2 years. You know, I could have that tiny home built in like because you figure yeah about I would say 20 months. So 20 months, you got 12 months in a year. So yeah, that's like a year and a half. I could have that done in about almost a year and a half. You know, yeah. So it all depends on the numbers, though. The numbers has got to matter. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. If you guys, for those of y'all that's looking to build another property, investment property, see what all that I did with this house that I built now. That's my home. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I got all these features and the glitz and the glam and all of that. Now, when you build an investment property, you know the exterior, you ain't really got to go all out on the exterior. It's the interior is what counts. You know, I don't know if y'all caught that last live that I did with that young brother that got property in Santiago, but he said it like you build a square structure don't cost that much to build a square a structure. It really doesn't. And you also you make sure you make that roof flat so that if in case you want to build up later on, you have the option to build up later on. You see what I'm saying? You could do it like I did it. Start from the bottom and then you work your way up. But the initial plan for me, and it was the communication is what messed me up because initially, guys, my the way my house is designed, initially it wasn't supposed to be done that way. I told them that I wanted them to create a stairs. They thought that I wanted the stairs inside. I wanted the stairs to be outside so that I could, finish up on the top level. You see what I'm saying? Because if they wouldn't have created that stairs, I would have been able to live in the house, you know what I'm saying? And then build later on. But I'm glad it worked out the way it did, because I like the design. I like it. Yeah. Um, I appreciate you, Copper Man. I appreciate you. Um, I mean, the only thing is, Copper Man, I'm gonna be real. Costa Linda is nice, don't get me wrong, but I'm just, with that kind of money, man, with that kind of money, I mean, even though you got to for that price that you're paying, you know, I know I could get it done cheaper than that, and that's why for one, I'm gonna be real with you, I can't afford to build to buy that price to buy a 2 bedroom townhome for that price. I can't afford it. I can't. I don't got $200,000. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? But and that's the the next option for me, you know what I mean, is building it from the ground up because I can't afford to buy a house market value. I just can't. So that's why I got to do it, that way. It's costing me less money to do it myself. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-mm. Not everybody big Willie like you, Copper Man. But it's better for those who can't buy at market value and buy like that. That's your only option is just to build from the ground up. And I think you will capitalize more because now after your house is done, you don't already got equity in it. You see what I'm saying? That is the difference. versus buying, building from the ground up versus buying at market value. You building from the ground up, once your house is done, you probably done got almost $100,000 worth of equity in your home, or even more than that, depending on the location. You see what I'm saying? Um, to whereas, you buy it at market value, where's your equity? Where you got to ask yourself, where's your equity? And that's why, it would be better if you're gonna buy market value, which I would never do. I advise you guys to listen. It's better to know than not to know later on. Try to get an appraiser out there before you buy it. That way, you know how much it's really worth. Somebody that they don't know, you know what I mean? Not their appraiser, somebody else, that can give you the price. That way you know exactly how much it's worth. So you know whether or not you got equity in the home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, see, yeah, that you see in your situation, you made out good. Cause like you said, they're using your home as a model. So you got your 50,000 equity. You know what I'm saying? But those who are buying it at 200,000, they ain't got no equity. You see what I'm saying? They ain't got it. Not until the real estate, um the value goes up, and that's going to take a little time, because when you look at, because I'm always looking, guys. I'm always looking. I'm like a Facebook marketplace connoisseur. I look for properties on there just to see like the difference between comparing, what I spent versus what is on the market. And that's how I know my property is way over, worth, you know what I'm saying? When you got 3 bedrooms listed, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths at 250,000 versus a 5 bedroom indoor pool, a rooftop balcony with a full bath on balcony. Now we're talking about luxury shit here. You see what I'm saying? See, that is the difference. That is the difference when you are building from the ground up. You can put your, all the little bells and whistles that you want, if it's something that you are looking to, live in yourself. And if you're trying to make more money, to sell it so that you can get top, top dollar for the property, then you want to go all out in the exterior, you know. Yeah. It's 19 of you guys in. I appreciate y'all joining the live. It's been a while, so I'm catching up for all the lost time. So be sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe, guys. Hit that like. And while y'all hit that like, I'm about to parch my I need some more water. Keep myself hydrated. Yeah. I think this water might be frozen though. Or the bricks are being frozen. It is almost. Yeah. They are chasing most of the girls out of so sure. The men not coming as before. A lot still there though. But listen, nothing bad lasts forever, bro. Times and it's okay. Susua's gonna bring a whole different clientele of people. Now all the big spenders are coming. So you done made a great investment. You done made a good investment where you're at. Um, Even where my property is at, it's a Dominican neighborhood. It's a compo. I'm the only American up there right now until both of my boys from the channel go down with me in July and buy up right next to me. Then that, the value goes up. Um, you know, uh, my location is a great location too, because I'm right by the cruise ships. I'm right by the lifestyle resorts. So any kind of business that I'm gonna do, and my community is going to work for me. And not just that, having the platform, the YouTube channel, the TikTok platform to advertise what I'm going to be doing in the future, is definitely going to bring, it's definitely going to bring clientele to me. I'm not even worried. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm most excited for, is getting started, and not have to spend a whole lot of money to start it up. Oh man, that's just music to my ears. When I did all the research and everything, I'm like, oh man, I was all smiles, all smiles. So if you are now, if you are building and looking to start a business, the idea is to make your home your business. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're building, in a, it doesn't matter what kind of community it is, man. You want to be able to offer your community something. Something. Oh, Jay, they got this over there. I'm about to go over there and get that. I need that. He's got this. He's got that. To whereas they ain't got to go outside. They don't got to go outside of the community. What you got is what they need right inside. So start brainstorming. Mm-mm. Um, Let me see. You saying equity? They don't matter unless you're selling. You can't get any loans against your place in the DR. Who told you that you can't get loans on your place in the DR? That's not true. It's not true. You can use your house as equity to borrow money if you wanted to borrow money. And if you are especially if you're a resident, that's why it's important for me to become a resident there because, and I've said this time and time again, the interest rates are very high in DR. The only way you should be borrowing money, if you got a house and you want to use that house as equity to borrow money in DR, and you know that the interest rates are high, the only way you should be borrowing money is if you're using that money to invest in like another pre-construction to sell condos, because to pay that interest on that money, man, you're talking about a lot. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only way I'm borrowing money is I plan on doing a project. That's the only way. I'm not borrowing no money to build another house or, for myself. Even if I use my own money to do that. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. It only makes sense to borrow the money if you're going to use it as an investment to sell more properties. Mm-mm. How your friend doing? Oh God. She's good, I guess, man. Yeah, she's good, I guess. Haitian gun man, what up? What's going on, bro? What's good with you? What's the what's that emo for? What that mean? I wouldn't take out a loan against my crib in the DR at all. Oh yeah, I wouldn't either. That's that's what we're trying to escape. Exactly. That's why I said, you know, um, crazy world. Like the only way I would do it is if I know if I'm gonna start a pre-construction and I got people that's gonna buy into it, because as they're buying into it, I'm using that money to pay back the loan. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I wouldn't. Mm-mm. Other than that, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. You know, even like with the, because I was also looking at apartments too. Because I said, well, you know what? Now that I got a house, because that was another option. I said, I was looking at apartments, maybe, um, buying an apartment, and they got some good deals. I will say, I don't, I mean, only from what I see on Facebook, and I reached out to a few realtors out there, and if I were to get an apartment, my budget, I'm not trying to pay that, and that's why I said it goes back to what I said again. I'm just like, damn, if I'm gonna spend 50,000, I'm not trying to spend no more than like 50, 60,000 if I'm gonna buy an apartment. And I'm like, if I'm gonna spend that kind of money, I might as well just build a house. You see what I'm saying? This is where I'm like, I'm just on the fence about that whole apartment thing because and you know what, another thing, guys, looking at these apartments that I've seen, from some of the realtors that I've reached out to, they're small as shit. Like a lot of the apartments are small. They don't have enough space to entertain in the living room. It's just like it's small. The materials, the ceramics are like, basic as like a construction company would say if they're trying to sell you basic, mid or high quality materials. Like it looks nice, but from somebody that's building from the ground up, that's in the game, like I already know that it didn't cost a whole lot for them to build these apartments. So it's like when you know that, especially when you don't already spent money, when you know that, it's like why would I do that? Why would I spend that kind of money? And yeah, you're because like my one of my viewers said, Miss Sharonda, she said, well, they're offering all these amenities, the pool, and they're offering, gym and this and that. And I'm just like, yeah, that's to attract, they're doing that to attract, the Westerners, foreigners, the gringo. You see what I'm saying? But I'm just like, even with those complex, those condos, I'm the type of person, I like to be in a pool. If I want to go in the pool at 10, 11, 12, even 2 o'clock in the fucking morning, I don't want nobody to tell me I can't. You see what I'm saying? See, these are the kind of restrictions that you have, that you are faced with when you are, buying into these pre-constructions and apartments. And it's just a no for me. And then I want to be somewhere where I can manage it, because I'm looking like apartments. I can't afford to buy anything in Puerto Plata. I can't. I can't afford to buy an apartment in Puerto Plata. I'm not even going to try. Okay. So I said, you know what? Let me look. I started looking at like, Boca Chica. I looked in Punta Cana. I don't even like Punta Cana. And I looked at Santo Domingo. I don't even like Santo Domingo like that. So I'm just like, why would I, buy in these places? And, you know, I'm 7 hours, from Punta Cana, and my house is 3 hours, 3.5 hours from Santo Domingo. You know what I'm saying? So I'm weighing all of this out. But one thing I will say is that if you are somebody that's looking to buy an apartment, the cheapest place right now going is in Boca Chica. Boca Chica and some parts of Punta Cana I've seen for like 53,000. You know what I mean? And that's my that if I were to buy one, that would be my budget. I'm not trying to pay no more than 50,000 for an apartment. I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? And that's not happening over on my side of Puerto Plata. Apartments are going for 150, 200,000. So even apartments, I'm like, some of the apartments are almost the same price as a damn house. So it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. um I was looking at a luxury villa, 5 bedroom, 5 bath, 1,600 meters in Ocean Village for 875,000. Do you think that's too much? That man, listen. You see what I'm saying, guys? I just hearing. I mean, even though it's Ocean Village is nice, but you're paying for the name. You're MBST Claire. You're paying for the name. That's what you're paying for. But hearing that price, it's just music to my ears. No, my house ain't in Ocean Village. It's not in Ocean Village, but I got a 5 bedroom. I got 5.5 baths. You said yours is 1,600. Uh, um, how many square feet in MBST Claire? I got a 5 bedroom. I got a 5 bath. I have an indoor pool, and they're talking. I got. Oh, this is almost the same. Mine's is 6,000 square feet though, and there's price at Ocean Village for 875. and it only cost me under 200,000 to build my house. So this is what I'm saying, guys. Even if my house valued at 400,000, I'm still winning. I'm still winning. I'm still winning. And I told you that. I told you. Um, the price going for a countryside house in my in the countryside, the kind of style of luxury home like mine's, because my house, it's not a house, it's a villa, it's a luxury villa. My luxury villa is going for anywhere between 5 to 700,000. So I wasn't too far off. So I'm all smiles right now. So for the haters that said I got, did I really get got? But to answer your question, MBST Claire, that's way too much money. You could build a house the same price, the same style home for about 200,000, maybe depending 200, no more than 250. Okay, that's just too much. That's way too much. I would never. What's the point of going there to buy that kind of house? But spend that you might as well stay in the states, spending that kind of money. I wouldn't do it. Your guy friend building a house in the Philippines, not the girl. Oh, um, you talking about Brooklyn Nomad? Shout out to Brooklyn Nomad if you're watching. Me and um, Brooklyn Nomad decided to go a whole different direction, man. He sold his condo in Monte Plata. He sold that. He's no longer with the Filipina. Mind you, he started a project he walked away from that project. You can go on and you can go on his YouTube channel and check it out. He got pretty. I actually, you know what? I think he deleted all that content because he's no longer with her. He walked away from it. I just couldn't have done that. I mean, he spent under 20,000 to build a house, but I'm like, bro, I wouldn't have walked away from that, man. But to each his own. So now he's living in Thailand. I told him as soon as my house is done, man, I'm coming down there. He's got a 3-story brownstone that he's renting out, overlooking the lake, paying about $500. He's got a few motorbikes, man. He's out there living his best life, bro. And he's still making his content. He's got some stuff that he's putting out, but yeah, he just loves the Philippines wasn't for him. So he's out there living the Thailand life, enjoying it. And Thailand is beautiful. I love Thailand. I told him as soon as I'm done with this house, I'm coming. Save a room for me. So yeah, he's doing good though. Um, um, it's over SOV over 800,000 is a nice neighborhood, but I would not spend that kind of money in a foreign country unless you're rich. Exactly, Copper Man. Exactly. I wouldn't. There's no. MC Claire, take that bread and build your own compound. Exactly. That kind of money, you could have a lot. You could have a lot with that kind of money. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. Hit the like, guys. Hit the like for those of you guys that just watch, just tuning in. I appreciate, and I just want to say, guys, I appreciate all the love and support. All my loyal supporters, man. Y'all have all my day ones, Crazy World, Copper Man. I appreciate you. Thanks for the info. I agree with your statement. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't make sense to spend that kind of money in Dominican Republic, and then buying that kind of a house, you're gonna have a hard time selling it. God forbid. You know what I'm saying? It would take a special kind of buyer to want it. You know what I'm saying? That's why. This is why. You know, I built the kind of house that I built. I didn't build it to sell. I built it to live in and to pass it down to my family. That's not that's what you call generational wealth. We don't really have generational wealth here in the States because, you know, even if somebody dies in your family, yeah, the house to be paid off, but that family member still's got to pay taxes on that property. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't never have once I pay my one time tax, I'm done. You see what I'm saying? So you know you got to be careful when you're building. You got to go in it knowing that if you're gonna build the home there, know if you're gonna build a home to live in, that's one thing. If you're gonna build a home to invest in, that's another. Investment home, I wouldn't spend a whole lot of money building an investment home, only because you're probably gonna end up selling it later on. So so just keep that in mind. I miss you, bro. I miss you too, Copper, man. And yo, one day we gotta meet. I've never even met you. It's a lot of y'all I haven't met in person yet. Crazy World, you know you my guy. Day one from day one. Met you in person. I just soon come. Time, in time, we'll all be out there, homes, living good, inviting each other to our cribs, chefing it up, I can't wait to get to that point where everybody's just, living good and enjoying life. You know what I mean? Outside, out, getting out of the matrix, man. And that's all I'm focused on. I'm not really focused on anything else. Like if as you guys see, like today, I literally took today off. I worked this morning. And I said, "Fuck it." You know what? I was gonna stay for the overtime. I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm going home. I'm going home. So I came home and I've been, I got on my TikTok platform, and then I said, let me get on the YouTube and do a live. Let me see. I was thinking of renting it or Airbnb and vacationing there. All right. Um, I was in Sosua last week. I'll be there in July. Mid July, I'll be there. So anybody gonna be there in July, let me know. Okay. MBST Claire, let me ask you a question. Have you traveled to Dominican Republic before? Do you know the country well? Like, I just to kind of get an idea, because you strike me as somebody that's just getting your feet wet. just trying to get an idea. Because if you're somebody that's just getting your feet wet and you got the money to spend, then you need to you need to make the right decision. Don't let nobody try to get over on you, because they'll take that American dollar fast, in a hurry. But I'll tell you this, if you're looking. Oh, yes, many times. Okay. All right, good. So you said you was thinking of renting it or Airbnb it and vacationing it there. Okay, so my next question is going to be, with wanting to do all of that, are you going to be there full time to manage it, or are you going to be managing it while you're living in the States? Mm. Okay, maybe we can hook up in July. Sounds good. I'm not gonna be there for long, bro. Just 5 days. This is really, because I was trying to wait till August, but this is a business trip. I gotta meet with that, like I said, that owner, and once I get the land. Don't worry, I'm gonna try to get the best deal I can for anybody that's looking to buy, because I'm trying to get it at a cheap price. And that land that's off the main road, my idea is to sell it as commercial spaces for anybody that's looking to do something commercial, because it's right off the main road. Um, but yeah, back to okay, yes, many times, 5 years. All right, so what I was saying to you, MBST Claire, if you look into to rent it, are you going to be there to manage it? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Are you going to be there to manage it, or are you going to be here in the States? Because if you're going to be there to manage it, then that's one thing, because you're recouping all of that money. If you're not, you're going to have to pay somebody to manage it. That's one. Airbnb, they're looking for their 30%. That's two. You see what I'm saying? And three, if you spend, let's just say you spend 300,000 on a home to Airbnb it. You gotta make it make sense. You spend $300,000 on that Airbnb home, and you look around the competition, like look around, because Airbnb will tell you what other Airbnb, who's Airbnb in your neighborhood. You got to look at the competition around you, one, and you got to ask yourself, how long is it going to take you to recoup that 300,000 that you spent? Most Airbnb homes, average about 120 a night, 150 a night. And then if you're not there to manage it, you got to pay somebody to manage it, pay that Airbnb fee. It's going to take you some years to recoup that money. So I always tell people, if you're looking to invest your money, don't invest it to do an Airbnb. It's going to take you forever to recoup it. And then you got to worry about people taking care of your property. That's a whole nother thing. It could be a headache. It could be a nightmare. What I would do if I had the money, I would build, I would start out with about 6 apartments, two on each floor. Nothing. The design, the architectural design doesn't have to be fancy. You know what I mean? You make it, nice. And what you do is you sell each apartment. Keep one for yourself. The money that you make from that, you go ahead and continue on to another project and keep monopolizing the industry. That is the fastest and best way to invest your money in Dominican Republic. I got an African American sister who just finished a couple of phases in Santo Domingo. She's doing well out there, okay? She's doing well. So that would be the best advice I can give you. Take your money and buy and just build apartments and sell them, if you got all the money, if you got your own money, that's even better, because you can do it faster and then you can sell faster. You see what I'm saying? Because now you don't got to worry about using their money to build, because now you gotta, now if you're looking for investors to buy into your project, you got to set a date, and then you got to meet your end of the agreement by making sure that it's done when you say it's going to be done, because now your reputation goes down the line. And then if you try to build another one, you're gonna have a problem. You know what I'm saying? So and I know somebody that did that. You don't want to do that. If you're ever gonna go into doing pre-constructions, you want to give your buyers a minimum of 3 to 4 years before it's done. I say two. I say three. I say 2 to 3 years max. 3 years max, maximum of 3 years. You know, and that way it gives you time to get buyers to buy in, and that way the apartments will be ready when you say they're going to be ready. You know, um, can you guys hear me? Because somebody was just calling me. Somebody was just calling me. Um, have a manager take of it and visit there for a few months. Okay, have a manager. Okay, okay, good, good. Okay, because when somebody calls me, kind of interrupts the live, but I have it. I have my ringer on silent. Um, Airbnb or renting it, you not gonna get a good return on that money, because it's over 800,000. It's too much. That's exactly what I was saying. It's too much. It's too much. I would never, that price, the price that you are paying to do that. You could for that price you can build two 6 family units. You can build 12 apartments for that price. For that price, you're looking at almost $1 million. You know, so no, I wouldn't do it. Good advice. Hope to see you when I visit there. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. MB's ST Clay. I appreciate it. I appreciate the interaction. And for those of you guys that's just tuning in, be sure to hit that like And for those of you who haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Yeah, but you know when you're thinking about making investments in Dominican Republic, you gotta make it make sense. Make your investments make sense. Uh, you know, doing Airbnbs is not feasible if you're not going to be there to manage it, and it's better to you to advertise it word of mouth. That way, you can avoid having to pay um, that 30%. You see what I'm saying? And that's normally what I would do. I would, starting out, you might have to do that. You know, go on Airbnb. Once you become a super host and build a rapport, then you can advise your guests. Listen, if you guys are looking to book, book my space again, just contact me directly. That not only saves the host money, but it saves you money too, because now you're not having to pay those extra fees that Airbnb adds on. I always do that. I always, take their number, and if because there's a few apartments and villas that I have stayed in more than one time, and I just booked directly through the owner, and they was happy with that because now they ain't got to pay the fees. Investments equals you got to start small and work your way up based on your profit. It's a foreign country. You said it best, Copper Man. You said it best. And that's why for me, the tiny home thing it works for me. It works for me because I know that I'm spending more. I'm spending less money building myself, opposed to I can't afford to buy more at a market price. You know what I mean? So for me, it's better for me to just go ahead and build from the ground up. But as you said, you start small. You start small. Let's just say, because even I was even thinking. I said, shit. If I could build me a tiny home for about and that's another thing. That's another thing you got to ask yourself too. When you are buying this land, right? You want to buy the land with the mindset of, you making a nice profit, you know? So I'm saying this to say that for those who are looking to buy land and build a house to sell, you want to build a house and sell it on a small lot, not on the big lot, because now you're losing money. You see what I'm saying? You're losing money. Why do you think a lot of these developers are building these houses side by side, close with no land space, because they are making more money building that way because they're able to build more houses and to sell more homes. You see what I'm saying? So you have to excuse me, you have to build in that mindset, building like that, because it's a waste if you're going to build a tiny home and sell it on 400 square meters of land. You're losing money. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind if you are looking to build that way. There's nothing wrong with building, a row of tiny homes now, because I think that's going to be the movement. A lot of people, as we get older, a lot of us, especially with me, less is more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I built this big house, but if initially that's not what I wanted. I got forced with that, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? They built a big house to make more money out of me not knowing, any better. But you live and you learn. But it's better. It's one thing if you're building to make money. It's another thing if you're building, to live. You're building to make money. No, you let's just say, okay, my land is only 200 square meters, right? I'm just giving you an example. My land is only 200 square meters, but the house is 600, almost like 595 square meters, right? So now, let's say you buy 600 square meters of land. Now, if you're looking to make money off of that land and you're trying to build, you need to out of the 600, you want to build tiny homes. Well, let's say uh at a 600 meters, you could probably build about each tiny home is about 60 square meters. You could literally build about seven, eight of them tiny homes on that. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just giving that as an example. You want to make your money worthwhile. So if you're gonna build on land to sell, build houses on land to sell, build them shit side by side. Side by, because that's what these developers are doing. They're doing that because you make more money that way. And don't trust me, people are gonna buy. If you and I haven't seen that. I haven't seen a tiny home community, you know? That might be something you should think about doing if you got the money, MB ST Claire. With that kind of money, you can buy a lot of land and do a tiny home community, a self-sustainable tiny home community. Do you know how many people will buy into that? Just throwing some ideas out there. But once you have the land, sky's the limit. Skies are the limit. You know, even with that property that I have in Sabana. Oh, that land is fertile for planting. I've got fruit tree. I could literally make money off of, I got banana, I got soursop, I've got lime, I've got mango trees. The land is man, I've got a lot of fruit trees up there, you know. I could build a small little home on there and just sell and just farm up there if I wanted to, you know. But the idea is to buy something you can call your own, and don't wait too long. Don't wait too long, you know. Before you know it, prices be so unaffordable that you gotta find another country like Colombia. And who the hell wants to invest there? I know I don't. I wouldn't dare. Not even Mexico. I wouldn't even invest in Mexico. But they're starting to promote that in other countries now. Yeah, I'm starting to see it a lot. Peru, Mexico. I'm like, oh, really? Y'all trying to, y'all, Diana done put Latin America on the map because all these other countries is trying to capitalize on the U.S. dollar. Yeah. I just don't know. Mexico is too big, and I just don't feel. I just, I don't know. I just don't know about feeling. I maybe I need to travel a little bit more in Mexico because when I first started, damn, my allergies is like really acting up. Hold on, guys. I need to take like a Claritin or something. Yeah, but Mexico. Don't get me wrong, it's cheap to live in Mexico. It's cheap to build in Mexico because I've been looking. I'm like, damn, prices is kind of good. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I don't. I'm the type of person. I'm not gonna invest in a country where I can't manage it. You know what I'm saying? And if I can't manage it, I want to be able to trust and rely on somebody to do it for me if I'm not able to do it myself. You see what I'm saying? And you know, when you invest in other countries, it's like it's hard because you got to vet these people, man. You can't just I just wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. I got 10 years. Just take it from me. Somebody's been traveling for 10 years. All the vetting that I have done and still got done over. You know what I'm saying? With people. You know what I mean? So to move to another country and try to invest and there's no vetting, and then now you got to live there and try to make a life. Nah, no. This is one of the reasons why I didn't, invest in like Africa because it's too far. God forbid something happens and I got property. Like I want to. DR was only 3.5 hours away on the plane, something's an emergency, I can get on that plane and I'm there like in no time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's important. So I always say invest in countries where you can manage it. If you can't manage it, don't do it. Don't do it. Let me see. I'm reading some more of the questions. I got investing. I got a great lawyer. Yeah, I do too. I do too. So we're gonna share. We're gonna sit down and share information. Hopefully, when I get down there in July, you're there. But I'm gonna do a live so that y'all know. All right. Merida, Mexico is decent. I'm looking at buying something small in Thailand. I don't think you can buy in Thailand though. That's the only thing. I don't think you can buy. You have to be married to a Thai local in order to buy there. Does the flooding affect you where your home is located? No. Uh-uh. No. And somebody said that, oh, I would be concerned about flooding. I'm like, bro, you don't. No, it's up in the mountains. No, I don't. First of all, my high is high. My house is high up, so even if there was, but no, I don't have any flooding issues there. I'm trying. What I'm trying to do, guys, is we're talking with this owner that because right next to me is untouched land, directly next door, next to me. So, and it's a whole mountain. It's a mountain. So I got to meet with him and find out how much he wants for this mountain because I got a few investors, me and like three others. So we're trying to. I just because he won't tell me how much in person. He's like, get your lawyer and so I really want to buy that mountain next to me. Um, I was gonna try, not try. I plan on buying at least one today, which is 628 square meters. So that will extend my property line. Because I'm only on 200 square feet. So if I buy 628 square more meters adjacent to my property line, that's that. I plan because I told my boy, I said, listen, up there where I live, it's a poor community. You got some littering and shit like that. But, you know, I'm a type of person I had a vision for up there. You know what I mean? Not everybody's gonna see my vision. Not everybody's gonna see it. But I got the right people to do what we plan to do up there. You see what I'm saying? The land is cheap. We're gonna clean that shit up. We're gonna gentrify all of it. See, we got plans. We got plans. So and they're on it because it's an affordable price. You're not gonna get property for $35 in DR right now at all. And with the option to finance because that's what I'm going to try to work out with this owner. I'm going to try to make him listen. Not everybody has, 21,000 at one shot. Give people an opportunity to put, a certain amount down and give them a few months to pay off the rest. Give them that finance option for those who are looking to do the financing. But yeah, I can't wait to get down there because once I buy my lot, then I'm gonna be ready to start doing other things. Yeah. But NYC, the Fugas, my house is great, bro. Everything is great, man. I'm closing out this year. After I get off this live, I'm gonna post a short so that you guys can see the outside of how it looks and you'll see the rooftop and the spiral stairs that was created and all of that. So you guys get a chance to see all of that. Yeah, and then once I get down there in July, yeah, I'll see the ceramics will be done. So yeah. And then the windows, that'll be the next thing that I gotta do. The windows. Because I got a lot of windows. I told him, I said, why you put so many damn windows? He said, you need them up here. It's good for the cross ventilation. I'm like, all right. So yeah, like upstairs, that top level is oh man, that top level, I'm in love. I am in love with. I'm more impressed with the top than I am with the bottom, guys. I'm I really, 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 really I can't say enough about that top. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And what I plan to do up there, I got two bedrooms up there, and then I got an office, and then and then the living space or whatever. So since my living room is downstairs, I'm going to put a pool table up on the second level. It's big enough for a pool table and couches, flat screen TV. So upstairs is going to be like, the entertainment, and then adjacent from that, you got the balcony, and then you got the spiral stairs to walk up to the rooftop. And then I plan on putting a jacuzzi on the rooftop. Yeah. That listen, it's gonna be my oasis. So like, when it comes to your home, you got to do it big. You know what I mean? Putting it. I'm like I said, my house is not for sale. Initially, I was gonna sell it, but somebody had offered me, and I had to really think about it. And talking to some of you guys is like, I was like, all right, nah, let me finish on. And I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I did. Yeah. But yeah, I can't wait, man. I can't wait because then it'll give me more time to spend down there. Then I could stay. I tell you this: once my house is done, I'm taking 2 months off of my job. I'm taking a leave of. I already said it. I'm taking a leave of absence for 2 months. Make sure all my shit is paid here, bills, everything paid here, and I'm out. I'm out. I'm gonna enjoy my house for a good 2 months. Yep, I deserve that. That at least, you know what I mean. And that's why I said our biggest problem as foreigners, crazy world. I'm sure you facing that. The transition, living down. Living. 'Cause I know you. No, I don't know what your plan is. You plan to live in Panama full time or DR full time. Like, what is your plan? We never really talked about it. Um, You can buy condos in Thailand unless you're married to a Thai for how equals houses. Right. Right. Yeah, that same thing with Philippines. Philippines is the same thing. You can buy condos, but you cannot buy land. You can't buy land. You can't buy land in Philippines. And I think that applies to Thailand too. You can't buy land, you know. All right, so you retiring in Panama. All right, nice. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So you listen. You guys got options. You guys got options. I got options. We got options. Um, I'm glad that I. One thing I'm glad that I did do, even though because I'm like that money that I'm glad I used that money to buy the other property that I bought, in Puerto Plata. You know what I'm saying? Because now that's something that if I just like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what the future upholds for that. But my builder suggested that I buy. He told me that I should sell it and just buy more up where my house is. But I don't want to sell that property. I don't want to sell it. I'd rather just save up my money and buy more up where I'm at and just hold on to that and wait for the value to go up. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm all of what I'm talking about now. When I get down here in July, I'm gonna make a live video or record it, pre-record, so that I can show you exactly what I mean when I say that the value has went up over there. Because I bought it. Once I bought it, that bought value. I sold a lot right next door to me from YouTube. A viewer on my channel bought the lot right next door to me. Once he bought it, the value went up, and then he called me and told me, an American bought a lot, and they're building on the. He sent me the video of the construction. That was all smiles to me because I'm like, well, I don't know, I don't already made. You know what I'm saying? I don't already. If I were to sell it right now, I would pretty much get double for what I paid for it. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. And this was only a year. I bought that land a year ago, and look, the value of it went up in 1 year. 1 year. My girlfriend is a flight attendant for Delta, so I fly all over the world for free. I'm going to Thailand in July again. Copper man, why you ain't tell me that, man? Why you ain't tell me that? Bro, we gotta link up and do a day trip together then. I fly with Delta too. I got the plug. I got the plug too. So we gotta. we gotta link up and do a day trip, man. Let's do it. Let me know. I want to do a day trip somewhere. So let me know, bro. Yeah, let's do a day trip. Let's make it happen. You just let me know. I'm with it. Yep, I got the benefits too. Um, yeah, man. So I can't wait to I can't wait to get down there full time. But like I said, everything takes time, guys. Everything takes time. That's why I said initially I was like, yo, 2 years, but nah. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I'm gonna still grind, continue to grind because I want to make some more investments. I want to make more than one investment. That way I'm good. When I leave, even if I leave the United States with $10,000 in my pocket, I got my investments in DR to liquid. I would like to call it like steady income coming in. So if I got to grind for the next 4 years so that I can have that, then so be it. You know what I mean? My house ain't going nowhere. You know, my house ain't going nowhere, and you know, I just want to be comfortable. I just want to be comfortable. I don't want to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. I want to be able to live in DR and say, hey, if I want to go, to Brazil for a month, I could afford to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the idea. That's why I say to you guys, like, if you can't afford to, if you, for those that's looking to make the transition, going down there to rent, you better rent a cheap apartment, something comfortable, barrio life. Get your little inverter, backup generator, ship that shit down there so that you're good, so that you can, live off your income and save money at the same time. And then over time, then you could afford to buy something because now you done saved up enough money. You know what I'm saying? So DR is a place you should go to save, not to be spending, because everything is so cheap. Get out of that mindset. You want to move down there with the mindset of living like the locals. I don't be going to Jumbo to buy my meats and shit. I go to the farmers market and go there and buy my produce and stuff. I only go to Jumbo to buy stuff that I can't that I need that's like American like. You know what I'm saying? Like towels and shit like that. But when it comes to meats and produce, I don't buy that stuff from Jumbo. Mm-mm. I go to right to the local markets for all that stuff. Chicken, all of that, goat meat, all of that. Mm-mm. You got the Delta benefit. You can go, you could go worldwide. Sure can. I'm a companion. I'm a companion, but I got to pay for that. I got to pay for that every year. But it's worth it. It's worth it. My boy works this, so it's worth it. Yeah. Um, but not in cash in other ways. I pay in other ways. Just but yeah, yeah, man. Once I get down there, I wanna, I do want to stay, Puerto Plata based. I really do. Um, I just can't really see myself living anywhere else outside of it. Now, you know what I did do? I did check out. I wanna when I do go down there, I would like to drive to Miches because I'm here. It's up and coming. Miches is up and coming, and they're building a lot of hotels and stuff, and I hear it's really nice. So I want to go and see. Have any of you guys been to Miches? Let me know. Let me know if you guys been, because I really would like to see what it's like. Because I'm like, I could even, if I were to buy something, I would prefer to buy in an up and coming city. So I was looking at Miches, but when I looked online, when I looked in Facebook Marketplace, I didn't see. Well, the apartments that I did see for sale in Miches, they were expensive. I was like, they lost their mind. I mean, it looked nice. It looked like something out of like it looked like the building was built into nature, you know, but and it looked real luxury. It looked nice, but even still, I'm not. You know, I built. If my thing is this, if I want to live, my motto is, if I want to live in luxury, I will build my own luxury. I'm not paying for luxury. I build it. I build my own luxury. You know what I'm saying? Because you pay, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay. You gonna pay. You know. MBST Claire says, you earned it to live a soft life for working hard to get where you are. Yeah. And listen, it hasn't been easy. It's a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of sacrificing, a lot of neglecting, you know, but you know, when I sit back and think about it, you know, I literally had tears of joy looking at my video. You know, just sitting back, you know, when you're sitting back and just you got time to reflect on things. And I'm like, damn, I really did it. You know, when people doubt it, I mean, I had so many doubters, people praying on my downfall. Oh, you know, I told you so. And people I never even had any interactions with. But once I started complaining, you know, and venting about some of the mishaps that I have encountered during the construction process, oh, people were eating it up, man, eating it up. But anything good, they don't want to hear. But everything bad that had to do with, but see, that's one thing about me. Like you know, I was transparent about everything with you guys. Like I'm not gonna sit here and you know, um, tell you all the good and not tell you all of some of the bad shit that's was going on. Nah, y'all need to hear it all. That way, you know what to expect if you are looking to build from the ground up and doing it boots on the ground and trying to vet people and you know listen, these are some of the things that you may encounter, and you if you encounter those things you might not be able to recover. You see what I'm saying? So I always, you know, you just and I be concerned for a lot of folks, you know, that's looking to go that route. And what really got me my inspiration to do it boots on the ground and, you know, find my own people, like I said it before, Red Alert. You know, Red Alert was the first to do it. He was the first. He's the trailblazer. Once he started building and YouTubers started interviewing him, everybody started wanting to build a house, and then that's when everybody started. You start, you know, and I'm not gonna lie, I got my inspiration for him. I followed him, and you know, he was the roadmap to it, you know, and he managed to build his home for about 50,000 back in 2016 or 2017, I believe. I think he completed it in like 2016, but I was watching him back then, you know. Yeah, he just disappeared. And you know what? I'm gonna be real with you. I'm probably gonna phase out like Red did too. Like once I'm done, you know, with all what I got going on, man, I might just phase out too. But then again, no, because I need my followers to support what I got going on. So no, I can't phase out like he did. But you know, Red Alert was the type of brother. He didn't really want to be in the spotlight. He was real laid back, real reserved. You know, you could sense that. You know what I mean? So but he's chilling. He's probably still living up in his crib in Sosua. I've never met him in person, and I always said if I ever run into him, you know, drink is on me because you know he's where I got the inspiration to even build. You know what I mean? And once he laid out, you know, the pricing and all that stuff, I was like, damn, I could do it. But I'm gonna tell you this: just because it worked, I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. Just because it worked for him doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. You know, um, trying it his way, I've encountered some, you know, some little mishaps, you know, but I would say bumps along the road. But I managed to, you know, recover from. But like I said, not everybody can, you know, so you just got to be careful, guys. Just got to be careful. That's all I can tell you, you know. Because like I said, once I'm done, I'm done. I just want to enjoy. I just want to enjoy. because most times, the past 4 years of building, and I'm going to tell you guys, once you get started, once you start building, that going to the beach and sipping on pina coladas, it's a wrap for you. Your concern is going to be your project. Like I didn't. My mom used to tell me, Jay, please, baby, when you go on vacation, get some rest. Try to relax. Try to take some time out for yourself. Because between um, doing things with my crib, listing properties, meeting with buyers, meeting with sellers. It's like I was literally leaving from the states to go to DR to work. You know, hoping that I had at least one day to just to enjoy the beach. So I said, nah, that's done with. That is done with. Um, my community, I already know what it needs. It's gonna thrive. I'm gonna use the locals to do what I need to do, and that way everybody's happy and the community is thriving. So that's my idea. Go into your community and be be a benefit, be beneficial. You want to be beneficial to the community that you're living in, you know? Yeah. So that's pretty much where I'm at, guys. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm happy. Hard work pays off. For those of you guys that's been following me, y'all know, y'all seen the journey, man. Uh, it's been a minute, it's been a minute. It's been some time. Like I'm sitting here like, damn, I can't believe I'm almost done, you know? And then my coworker was like, she's from Haiti. She was like, you say you're done with your house, that you're done. You're not done. She told me that. She said, you're not done. And then when I told her, I said, yeah, I'm thinking. She said, I told you. I told you. Because now it's like I've always been a hustler, man. I come from a family of hardworking people, moms, pops, so I got it honest. So it's like for me, once this house is done, I gotta continue on. Like, what else am I gonna do with this money? You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I don't. I might take. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna take 2 months off. And then maybe in that 2 months, I might, stay home, stay in DR a month, and then go to go to Asia, visit my boy in Philippines, and visit the Filipino girl, and visit my boy in Thailand, and you know what I mean. But once I'm done, and I come back, I'm back on the grind again, back on the grind as if I never stopped. And that should be you guys' mentality, man. If you're single, there's no reason. There's no reason for single people. Y'all ain't got no excuses. You ain't got nobody but yourself to take care of. What's the excuse? Why you ain't get that land yet? If you single, shit. If you got to work 3 jobs to make it happen, do what you got to do. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you because ain't nobody damn sure gave me nothing. I had to do this shit on my own. Gotta go play a piece. Copper man, peace, bro. I appreciate you, man. For those of you guys that's just joining in, be sure to tap the screen, brothers and sisters. I appreciate the love and support. Always tap that screen, guys. But yeah, I just wanted to leave y'all with that, man. It's 3 hours, and man, I've been on here for 3 hours. Wow. Today was my day off, so like I said, I came on here. I catching up for lost time. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute since I literally came on here to do a live, but y'all probably won't hear from me for a while after this video. So it was well worth it. It was well worth it coming on here, and I appreciate the comments. You guys really the interactions were great today, man. I appreciate all the comments and stuff. And if you guys are, gonna be down there in July, reach out to me. If you want to reach out to me personally, consultation, you're looking to buy land in my area because all right, my area and Congrejo, where I got my apartment, those two spots, because I love Congrejo too. So you're looking to buy land in those two areas, even a commercial space. off the main road, Confressi area. You can reach me at TAYLORJAYSON01 at gmail.com. Yeah. Um, and guys, just, continue to work hard. Don't let nobody stop you. Sacrifice, downsize. I can't stress that enough. Downsize, downsize. Get rid of all the shit that you don't need. Have a yard sale. Start saving your money. Open up that Dominican banking account. Start putting money into that account so you're not touching it. Keep put money in there. Because that's what I'm doing. My Dominican banking account, my retirement money is going into that account. I don't touch that money. That's where that money's gonna go. I ain't gotta worry about it. It's there. And that's what you guys should be doing. So that at least when you get there, you got money in the bank. You know. I took my girlfriend's advice. She said, Jay, I don't care how much it is, $5, $10, it adds up over time. You gotta start saving for your retirement. Not just what you're getting from your job, but additional money. So I said, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. So, I'm gonna start doing that too. But yeah, man, that's what it is, guys. I appreciate all the love and support. I'm about to in this live. It's almost 11 o'clock. And then time flies. 3 hours. It's the longest I've been on here, man. For those of you guys who haven't liked it, be sure to like it, share the content, support the cause, man. This is invaluable information. Money can't buy that. You know what I'm saying? So I hope it was useful. And as I said, yeah, I got my email. If you're looking to reach out to me for a consultation or buying land in the areas that I mentioned, I got my email as well. All right. Until then, y'all be safe out there. Enjoy the rest of y'all weekend, and appreciate all the love and support. Brother, start buying some stocks. Make your money work. I already MB St. Clair, I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm investing my money into something to whereas I'm receiving weekly dividends. If you know, you know. You know, the more you invest, the key to stocks, guys, is letting your money sit. And if you're going to invest, it's best to invest in AI stocks. AI stocks is where to go. If you don't know it, if I didn't tell you anything today, that's important, I'm telling you now. AI stocks is the way to go. Invest your money. Invest your money in stocks where you're receiving weekly and monthly dividends. All right. So with that being said, man, I'm not. I appreciate that, MB in St. Clair. You seem like a. Are you MB St. Clair? Are you a female or a male? Just curious. Think it's a male. Mm-mm. I guess she doesn't want to tell. But yeah, but nah, he or she is okay. He's right though. He's absolutely right. Investing your money in stocks is the way to go. But you want to invest where you see that's New York life for you guys. You hear that in the background. But yeah, you want to invest your money where you're seeing dividends weekly or even monthly for that matter. And the more you invest, the more you see on your return. Idea is let it sit, let it sit. And you want to invest your money, not into just one stock, but you want to have a portfolio. You know what I mean? Want to have a portfolio. I'm starting to learn on about stocks and dividends and all of that stuff thanks to one of my viewers here on the channel provided me with some oh man some really helpful information that's going to help me to be able to live in Dominican Republic without worrying about where am I going to get my money. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I said I got a 4-year plan and no day trading. All right. Well, listen, MBST Claire, if you're into that, man, listen. Um, I normally don't give out my number on here, but I'm willing to take a chance with you. 347-740-6350. Inbox me, message me on WhatsApp or regular. It doesn't even matter because I like to get some more information on the day trading if that's what you're into. But yeah, yeah. Let me know. I'd like I definitely like for you to take me under your wing, and if if you're willing to, so that I could learn a little bit more about how this day trading stuff works. Because I'm definitely trying to invest some more money into the stock market. Yeah, and you guys should be doing too. Very important. All right. But with that said, guys, I'm gonna end this live. I gotta get up and work in the morning. Yeah. So I appreciate all the love and support. And I'll be talking to you guys soon. Until then, y'all take care and enjoy the rest of y'all weekend.